One strike will decide it all.
Please grant me your strength.
She asked me to gather all of the rings and bring peace back to Elyos.
We live on the continent of Elyos. 4 realms surrounding a holy land at its center. 1,000 years ago, our lands endured a vicious war with the fell dragon. We called upon heroes from other worlds to aid us, heroes known as emblems. With them, the warriors of our nations fought as one. In the end, we were victorious in defeating and imprisoning the fell dragon. In the years since, our world has been safe. But now, I sense a resurrection. The binding weakens.
You're awake!
Huh?
You're really awake, yeah?
1,000 years? That's how long I've been asleep.
What are those horrible things?
If I may, you are a divine dragon, a member of a royal family of dragons revered as deities.
The war. The fell dragon. I feel like I can almost remember, but
I've had my eye on you.
the ring. Marth, right.
Sigurd, leave it to me.
It is rather quiet, I know, but it will liven up as we gain allies.
The time has come. Now, as one, emblem, engage! One strike will decide it all.
Please grant me your strength.
She asked me to gather all of the rings and bring peace back to Elyos.
We live on the continent of Elyos. 4 realms surrounding a holy land at its center. 1,000 years ago, our lands endured a vicious war with the fell dragon. We called upon heroes from other
What's going on, everybody? This is Kotetsu here, and welcome to my gamer's perspective, where I give you my personal opinion on all things. Yeah, this is going to be an awesome show. You guys already see everybody here is dope. I'm going to introduce you guys to my co-hosts on which side will I say? On my right side of the screen, if I'm looking at it correctly. It is, or my left side I'm pointing at is going to be Geek. So Geek is here with us right now.
What's up, everybody? What's good? What's good?
At the bottom, we have Cliff. Just Cliff here. He was just at the. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff. He was at the Game Show Awards, so he's gonna give us a nice little perspective on that. And we got MasterSwordMusic here with us, man, which is gonna be dope. We got TJ the Gamer here. Let's say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? How you doing?
We got Switchbit, man, with that dope. That setup is so dope, man. You just got all the arcade cabinets right there. That's
I had to show it off.
It is.
That's dope. And we got Thousand Star here as well.
Why?
So it's gonna be an awesome show, man. It's gonna be fun. We got amazing people here. It's gonna be just amazing vibes. So what I like to do, and I got this from Cliff, so Cliff knows I'm about to do, and Geek knows I'm about to do because I did it with him. I like to do a nice little icebreaker, get to know what people are doing this week in terms of gaming. So I want to ask everybody, and everyone could, whoever wants to go first, what games have you guys been playing this week? Don't matter if it's 30 minutes, an hour, or like 2 seconds of your time. You know, what has caught your attention gaming wise this week? Whoever wants to go, feel free.
I'll kick it off.
Right,
actually,
cool.
I've been playing a very interesting game this week. It's a game called Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
It's a
heard of it.
Yeah, it's actually really dope. I was actually watching one of the guys I like to watch stream on Twitch. He played a little bit of it, and I was like, hey, that looks pretty interesting because I love the why is the genre name leaving me right now? But it's like a dang, I can't think of the genre. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on the genre name, but it's a really interesting game. It's like you basically like you're building a cult, and like it's a really interesting story behind it. It's like your character in the very beginning is about to be killed off, and then this god comes in and is like, hey, if you build a cult in my name, I'll give you a second life. And then you go and you actually like you have to get followers. You build your cult. You get special power up bonuses. You get It's a really, really interesting take on that kind of genre of gaming, and I actually been playing it all week. It actually ended up beating it, so
nice.
That's what I've been playing all week.
All right, that's dope. That's dope. Anybody else?
Yeah, I've been playing Vampire Survivors. Have y'all heard of that one?
Yeah. Yes.
It's on Xbox Game Pass, and it's really old school looking, like 2D sprites, but I mean the screen would get filled with like thousands of enemies at the same time, and you're basically just tearing through them. It's a roguelite, so every time you play, it's a little bit. Yeah, that's what I was
trying to think of. Roguelike. That's what it's a roguelike.
But like it maxes at 30 minutes. Once you survive 30 minutes, death comes in and kills you. So like that's the most you can play in any given time, which is perfect, for my schedule right now. I can't play any long games because of work and stuff, but it's a great way to have a lot of fun, just compacted down in 15 to 30 minutes at a time.
I think they announced that at the Game Show Awards. I think they said it's on mobile now. They released it on mobile.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was one of the announcements. Yeah,
I think it was one of the earlier ones. Yeah, they said it. They announced it on mobile, so I was like, all right, that's cool. Now it's a game that literally anybody can play now. Like everybody, I would assume everyone has a smartphone that can that's compatible to be able to run a game like that. So, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Anyone else?
You already know me, man. I play way too much Overwatch 2 with the crew, saying all the meanest stuff in the world. I'm gonna say the nice version, but if you got put sleep on me, you gotta explain that to God what happened, bro. That's all I'm saying. You gotta explain that to God.
Man, all right. Who else? Who we got? Like, I don't want to talk about me.
I think for me,
I think it's me left.
Oh, you? Okay.
I think it's me left. Chrono Trigger. Doing Chrono Crush. Shout out to everybody who's been coming through the streams and helping with this. TJ was just there the other day too. Cortez was there the other day. Switch bits.
I'm scoring. I'm gonna score it. I'm scoring it.
We was out there. I was gonna stop 2 hours, and then it went way further than it needed. But between that and Persona 5, Chrono Trigger, Persona 5, just started Star Ocean. So I don't watch TV other than sports, and the Rams are. You don't want to get into sports. I'm not getting into sports. All my LA teams are trash right now. All of them. So I just play role-playing games. That's it. That's basically where I've been. So Star Ocean, Chrono Trigger, Persona 5, It's something else I'm missing. Sonic Frontiers. And then just like TJ said earlier, it's become. I've gone back to that too, where just let me just press the play button, press record, just go live, and that's why I just been playing a lot of games. Oh, Yakuza Like a Dragon, I just finished that last month, and I finished the first playthrough of Nier, so I'm proud of myself this year. I've been averaging 1.5 JRPGs a month, and y'all
Nice.
know, for y'all that know, I play these. I make love to these games. I like
I mean, I think it's more than
candles.
that. Geek.
Got some incense. I got some slow jam zone. Got that Nita Baker. Then hit it off with that Sade.
Yo, Nita Baker, oh God.
He said Sade. Okay.
Sade.
Oh,
Sade.
snap.
You know, but yeah. That's what I've been
Which
playing.
song,
It's just
though?
been,
Which song?
it's been a good
Which
time,
song
actually.
from Baker?
I was gonna ask you, with Persona, how far are you in it?
I am about to beat it. Probably.
It's like this dude's fifth time beating it.
This is my fourth playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be.
Nice.
Or this is my a waifu trophy playthrough. Oh,
I just got one question.
I feel you.
I just got
feel you
one
with
question,
that.
bro. What candles you using, bro? What candles?
Candles I'm using. You know what? I'm more of an incense dude, but candles sound better. But I did say incense too. I'm more of an incense dude.
I was on a stream, and when I played my first 2 times, I did on because it was just for me. I did it in the first game, and I stuck with it. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. And then when I was watching, he did on first. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that storyline. I've seen that. And then when he did Makoto, I was like, I've never done Makoto. And like, what if Makoto was like? I think like and Geek made a good point. Makoto's probably the boldest character in the entire game. So she said,
that's my baby.
So
that's
when I saw that, when I was watching, she said, what did she say? She said we should both experience things that we've never experienced before. And I was like, what? And he was like, oh, you never seen that?
Yeah,
I was like, no, I've never
Makoto's
seen
the one.
I was like, what? I was like, that's what she says. And I was like, okay, that's crazy because I've never played through it. Real quick though, I want to give a shout out to Zap Crystal. She is in the chat right now. What's going on? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Cliff, man, it's on you now. It is on you now,
I was gonna
Cliff.
say, back, just to close off that Persona talk. I think I might go with Futaba, to be honest. Once I get to that point, like I'm like 90% of the way in Persona 5 right now, and I need to finish it. I just been telling myself like, yep, first time playing it. I played
Royale or just Persona 5?
Royale. I like. It's funny because I literally bought Persona 5 and Royale on PS4, but it was the Steam version that made me actually like play through the game and fell in love with it. And it's just so good. But I've been telling myself, I don't want this to end. This is so good. I don't want this to end. I'll wait. I'll give like a 2-week break and then I'll play through it again. But as far as this week, I've mainly been playing the new season of Fortnite. Really good. It's probably one of the best seasons we had in like a while. The Mario Kart DLC that came out on Wednesday, that was pretty good.
I haven't done that. I haven't done that.
And then last night, I had brought my Steam Deck with me, so I played some games while I was waiting. And it was funny because I was literally like in line playing Melee on the Steam Deck, and you have people like, "Oh my God, that's a Steam Deck! Oh my God!" And like it was a really funny, I mean, not funny. It was a really cute moment where there was this kid in front of me who was playing his 2DS. It was with his dad, and he had eyed the Steam Deck a couple of times while we were in line, and he asked if he could try it out. I was like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And he loved. I'm like, well, I know who's gonna ask for Christmas. But yeah, that was pretty much my week.
That's cool, man. I was about to say something about Cliff buying games and like don't touch them for like years.
I know where you're going with that.
Because I'm telling you, like, I remember when Monster Hunter World came out, it was right around there,
God,
and he was just like, hey man, Monster Hunter World 2. I'm like, dope, we can play, and it's gonna be cool. Till this day, the rapper's still around the game?
I mean, it's not.
Package is still on the game?
Oh, you
No, it's just like, and I get it. He like when you get a game and you're about to play it, and then something else comes out, and it's just like that just goes to the side. And I think we've all like gone through something like that. But
Oh yeah.
That's the struggle.
but yeah, that's our in our group. That's our ongoing joke where he buys a game and we're like, yeah. So what? You're gonna play it about like 5 months? That's when the first time you're gonna.
Well, it's funny. It's
So-
funny because like I bought World like a few like back in summer during the summer sale on Steam. We need to play that, Katetsu. Arise, right?
Yeah,
Steam, Arise.
I have it too. I bought it for both.
Like I did
Switch
this
and
before
for
you about,
Steam.
but I wanted to wait until we got to play together before I started.
And
Yeah,
you
we
know
can do
what's and you know what's funny now because Monster Hunter Rise is now coming out for all platforms now. Like they just announced it. Like it's coming out for now it's coming out for PlayStation and Xbox. I think it's like in January. January 23rd, I think it is. That's
Maybe
what's
on Game
coming out.
Pass.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past them that they would put it on Game Pass. Like I wouldn't put it
It's
past
been
them.
confirmed. Like,
Oh, is
'cause
it?
I was gonna get it for PS.
okay.
I already have it for Switch, and I was gonna get it for PS5. But then it's on Game Pass, so why would I buy it for PS5?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So for me, you guys already know I've been playing Pokemon like nonstop. Nonstop Pokemon. Finally
Oh,
got
yeah,
my
I've been
shiny
watching.
charm. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, like you guys have seen like I have like what like 20 shinies now. Which is like
yeah,
probably
you've been
the
going in.
most I've ever gotten. Like I've never had that luck. And I like it because if you guys played Sword and Shield, like you wouldn't know it was a shiny until you encountered it and it did the whole encounter animation and then it was it. And I used to hate that. And I was just like, I don't feel like going through that. And then with Legends, it was just so much easier. You hear they had like cues. You either hear it or you'll see it in front of you. With Scarlet and Violet, of course there's no like sound cue, which kind of sucks because you can miss it. But yeah, I just been finding shinies like crazy. I had to take a break because I was just like, man, it's not fun no more because I'm finding shinies. Like it's not a rare occurrence anymore because I'm finding like I think the last time I played like a couple days ago, I found what was it? It was a shiny. I found a shiny Braviary, and I was like, cool, that's what I wanted, and I caught that. And then like 20 minutes later, I found a shiny Venonat, and I'm just like, this isn't supposed to happen. So I said, I'm just gonna take a break on this because it's surprising, but then I'm like, I'm expecting it too much to find shinies is how my luck is going. So I just said, but apparently there's people out there who hate it, who hate me getting shinies like that. You know, I get threats, man. I get people like, really, you found another shiny? Or I'll get someone who's just like, yeah, or I get people, I'll get people like, you know, really, you're gonna fly? I'm like, yeah, man, like I never got shinies like this before, so I'm gonna take advantage.
You guys seen? Let me just piggyback that real quick on
Mhm.
Tetsu. I was looking for the link, but have you guys seen the what was his name? Oh, Jeffrey, something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know what he voice acted on, but him and some friends voice acted
Ooh, yeah, I saw
Pokemon
that.
Scarlet and Pokemon Violet.
I saw that. Yeah.
Now, oh no, I want more from Pokemon. I like Pokemon, but as a casual, as a super first generation XY Sword and Shield, I haven't even got Scarlet or Violet yet because I just can we talk? Can I get some kind of eat please Muppet? Something that's
Some
all.
voice
I
acting.
just want some kind of voice acting.
Oh, I seen that. I know what you're talking about. I
Mhm.
seen that video where they actually put voices to the characters.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, and
Mhm.
I did a video on it too.
Yeah,
and
he
I'm
did a
like,
short on
I'm
that
not trying to
too.
plug.
No, go, no.
I did a video on it too, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, please, it's no purpose. Why don't they have it?
They
It's
got
no-
the budget.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do
It
have
makes
it.
no sense.
They
Like
do have it.
by now in Pokemon's budget, like next game has to have voice acting because it's almost like Zelda. Like I remember like in
That's what we said about the
2010
last
when-
game. We said about the
like I
the
remember
next
like
game should have
when
it.
freaking like Skyward Sword came out, I was like, oh, this is great. You have options to like, but like why can't I hear the voices? And then Breath of the Wild finally gave us voice acting. Come on, it has to catch up. Like next game better have voice acting.
That's what we said about the last game. Next game better have
Like
voice acting.
like at the very
That's what we
least
said.
have like English and Japanese, and then for all their languages you could do subtitles, but at
Subtitles,
least
yeah.
Japanese and English.
Yeah, I
Or
agree with that.
If you want to, I would even accept. Why does Animal Crossing have better voice acting than?
Oh, you're not wrong.
Animal Crossing has voice acting. Give me something. Like, you know what? People always fight on that, and I still advocate that Link should talk. He's never gonna talk, and Pokemon might never talk. We're still gonna buy him. I'm still gonna buy this.
Oh
new
yeah,
Zelda.
100%. 100%.
And you know,
It adds so much though.
It's-
Like imagine
It really
Xenoblade without
does.
voice acting.
Oh, Xenoblade, no,
Xenoblade would never work
Xenoblade
without
couldn't work.
voice acting.
That
Right,
game could
so,
not
like,
work.
Fire
there's
Emblem.
a lot of emotional, impactful
Mhm.
things, and like not to say that like. I mean, Pokemon's an RPG, and there's storylines in there. And when you're just reading it, I don't know.
It doesn't
has
hit. It
an
doesn't hit the
opportunity
same.
to hit. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't
exactly.
hit the same.
It's,
weird
it's
that they
definitely a
go
missed
so hard on
opportunity.
Xenoblade. They don't go hard on Pokemon.
Yeah, that's a
When it
missed
comes to
opportunity. And
It really is.
we've talked about this too, like on all platforms that we had. We've always said Pokemon needs to. That's the one thing that keeps them held back from being something that could really be a heartfelt game, and it's just the voice. I've never just real quick before we go to the next segment. I'll never forget when we first loaded up Sword and Shield, right? And I don't know if you guys remember that huge like beginning. They ended up in like this gym in the middle of a Pokemon battle where it was Lance and it was the other dude, and they fought, and then it was like, cool, we're about to hear this dude talk, and then there was just nothing. And we're like, you guys put this huge like spectacle, and it was just, it looked like the scene was set to where we're gonna finally hear something out of this person out, and we heard nothing. And I was like, that would have set the tone for the entire game if they would have had that person actually have a voice actor. It would have set the tone, because you would have been like, cool, this is crazy. All right, I'm ready. I mean, I was ready to play, but I mean, like, it's like just like Switchbit said, like, it hits harder when you have that emotional side to it, and when it comes from a voice actor, it's better.
Sounds so good.
Yeah,
and
it's
Nintendo's
better.
probably gonna take it down.
Mhm.
Nintendo's probably gonna take it down.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo's gonna take it down. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah, they're
flag
gonna
it.
shut them down real quick. Yeah.
I was gonna say what was funny about with this game is that like for promotion in some videos, Nintendo actually like made videos that were on YouTube that actually had voice acting for that beginning, that cutscene, and I was like, oh, are we gonna actually get it this time? Nope.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
We're gonna get it. Never gonna
Oh man, like I said, this is gonna be. I already knew it was gonna be a good show, but anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next segment of this. So, we're gonna recap as much as we can of the game show awards. I'm assuming we've all, even if we didn't watch it live, we saw all the trailers, we saw the nominees and nominations, and people won categories and all that. Me and Geek actually watched it last night, and it was, and Cliff brought it up. I'd say it was one of the better ones. I think the first one that they had was really good, and I think after that it was just like kind of like a downward spiral a little bit. But I think this one definitely picked it up again, especially since it was now like a live one where it actually had an audience and everything, and everyone was there. So I think this one was a good one. And I guess I can start off by saying what was everyone's like, anticipation going into watching the game show, the Game Awards last night? Or like I said, even if you didn't watch it, you watched like the trailers and stuff. Like, what was like your anticipation of what you thought or what or believed you might see at the I keep calling it Game Show Awards, the Game Awards last night?
I wasn't expecting much. I've like my standards, I guess, are higher than for a game show award. Now I'm doing it. Game award. Just because we've been through so many, like the Spike TV, Game Awards back in the day, and like they bring out like Paris Hilton and people that have nothing to do with video games.
We're talking about that.
I was actually really pleased in how it was yesterday. It seemed to celebrate the medium, and I mean, there were a lot of advertisements for Samsung, but besides that, I mean, it was a really good showing. I think they gave a lot of people their flowers, which was good.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's funny because you mentioned, they brought in people that had nothing to do with video games. Like that's what one of the things me and Geek were talking. We were like, "What's Al Pacino? What is he doing?"
He didn't know
about
games.
that
Said it.
because the
I
entire
like
stage
Pacino
was
too, but like Scarface is one of my favorites. But bro, you at least know one video game. He's like they just got him off the street for real.
Yeah, I think he wandered into the wrong building.
That's what it seemed like for real.
Oh, you downtown? Okay, well come on in. You doing something? Al Patron, yeah.
That's it.
A shot of this Al Patron.
Oh god.
I will say I was hoping to see something about Tears of the Kingdom. So I was a little
Same.
disappointed.
Yeah,
on
I was
that.
disappointed. I didn't get my Zelda.
I'm
But
You know,
there's
I'm
another
always
good
looking for
announcement.
Zelda. So
I'm
and like
go ahead, Cliff.
what sucked about that is that it won the award for most anticipated game, and then like it cuts to God damn, it cuts to a trailer, and you think it's Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm like, oh, it's right. I mean, I
Nah,
like
I kn-
Horizon, it's a good game, but I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck, man, where's Tears of the Kingdom?
What's we have Miggy here. What's going on, Miggy? And we have I can't talk right now. We have Slinko Bomb. How's it going? Thank you guys for coming out, man. I appreciate that. You know what? I knew we weren't gonna get Zelda. I knew we weren't. I feel like Nintendo's holding on to that. And we at least have the release date. What did it say? Like May? May. We have a release date. And what? I kind of predict it wasn't on the anniversary of the Switch, but it's like it's at a good point to where, and I've said this like so many times to so many people, like Nintendo doesn't have to release nothing but that game next year, and they can just do this and just let the money just roll. Let people buy consoles, let people buy units, and all that. I feel like we're going to get a Nintendo Direct that's going to show a little bit of their games, but then like Zelda's just gonna be like the selling point through the entire thing.
Oh,
but,
a Zelda Direct. They're definitely going to do a Zelda Direct. They
yeah.
always,
and
right,
it's not
like right before the game releases, they're going to give you a information dump.
But I didn't expect that. I know a lot of people were like, we're gonna see Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm like, no, we're not gonna see Marvel. We saw one Sony IP, and that was Horizon. If I'm wrong, I think that was the only Sony IP that we saw, and it was a DLC.
I think so.
Like there wasn't anything.
No. You about The Last of Us, the $70 game, the $77 game that I paid for.
Oh no!
Like a dumb man.
And I don't know if Death Stranding counts too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, it does count.
Death Stranding 2. I forgot. I still need to finish the first one. I still have to finish the first one.
The first one. It's not that it's bad.
No, yeah.
Something else.
It was.
If you like walking, you know?
But it's cool though. Like I promise, like when
that's enough.
I'm waiting for that to go on sale, like for sure.
$26.99.
I have the game of the year edition, so I'm like, okay. And then they showed us The Last of Us. I'm like, okay, cool. They bringing it back because I feel like when they do stuff like that, we're gonna get another game. But then sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm just like they're just doing it for cash cow, which they did.
So
yeah, I think we'll get like probably like a third one within like the PS5 generation.
Yeah.
But I was actually hyped for the PC remake.
Oh yeah, they did say that.
I'll definitely get it when it's like maybe like $30-$40.
Yeah.
But
and then
I like just to have it on PC in general is kind of cool.
Right. What were we gonna say, 1,000 Star?
Hey, it's not changed.
So I got things to talk about for the two fighting games.
Oh yes,
Tekken 8
yes.
I got a little roasting to do, but I'll speak my mind about the two trailers. For the Tekken 8 trailer, Forest Law or wherever Law is, what happened, bro? You went to the
almost right.
and said, I get them games.
Oh, yeah, he's roiding out.
Games, bro.
What
happened,
I think
bro?
people are speculating that that's Marshall because Forest Law has his stash in a goatee. Martial Law doesn't have that, but someone said that Martial Law has like the claw mark on his face. That's how you know that's Martial Law. And I'm like, and for me, someone made a good point about that, where Martial Law in this game is no longer this like full jokey Bruce version of Bruce Lee.
Right.
It looks like now he is a Bruce Lee character, but it looks like he's like they're tapping him into like, okay, this is going to be a more serious version of Martial Law than he was in the other. Because I think once they released Forest Law, then like Martial Law was just like a mirror character, and like we never heard from him ever again. But yeah, and then they showed Paul.
Paul looked dope.
Paul looked crazy.
Paul's design.
Paul looked crazy.
So they showed the tiger, not tiger,
King.
King. They showed King. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about, and I'm wondering if this was just on purpose or not, there was no sidestepping.
I feel like we haven't seen that yet. I feel like they're just
what are they gonna do like DOA when you have to pay meter to sidestep?
I hope they don't do that because that was so stupid. I feel like it'll take away from what I feel like they won't do that because I think sidestepping is such a core in Tekken that if they said, okay, now it's gonna cost, because we already know there's meter. Well, there's quote unquote super attacks, which doesn't have meter, but it uses rage.
Rage drive.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna. I think sidestepping is such a core, and Tekken is this is just my opinion, right? I know I'm gonna hear you know what I'm gonna take what Geek said. I don't want no trouble, but this is my I'm gonna take your saying I don't want no trouble, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think Tekken is probably arguably one of the best 3D fighting games of all time, and for them to say we're going to take away sidestepping is like, then it's not a 3D fighter anymore, because 3D fighting isn't just the graphical side, it's the movement. If you can sidestep freely, that's a 3D fighter. Like if you can't sidestep, then it's a 2D fighter with like 3D coat of paint on it, right? So I feel like they just haven't showed it. It's still there. I think they're just trying to, with that one, they just try to make it really hype and cinematic and give us a little bit of something to kind of dissect in that trailer, because there were some new features. Like if you saw like Jin, he did like
the 2 forms.
Huh?
What, the 2 forms he got now?
That, and like he did like this dash. I don't know if you saw it. The first one was like a straight up like dash, and then there was another one where it looked like he spent. It was a missed step, but he had like a weird aura around when he did it, and it looked like he was able to get another frame in an attack. So it was like, okay, there's something there.
Jack did it too. Jack did that dash thing too in the trailer. If you go back and watch it, Jack did like a ducking dash.
Yeah, which
was really interesting.
Yeah, so
you think it's similar to like Jin's crouch dash in a way?
His misstep. You know what? That's crazy because Bob has something like that too. Bob has like it's not called a misstep, but it's a certain like it's a button input that gives him like that kind of misstep kind of thing. But yeah, we can talk about this all day because I'm a fighting game fanatic. But you wanted to talk about that in Street Fighter 6, I'm assuming, because you brought up the two fighting games.
It was dope to see that one. JP's intriguing to me. How he had like Bison like powers.
I thought it was Bison for sure. I thought it was Bison at first.
It could be, but they can use that so many ways. The way they use the wording, they were very careful with his wording.
Yeah.
But he's definitely using psycho power. What he's using is definitely psycho power.
Right. Melissa was kind of cool. She got the Magneto hairline though, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was dope.
I was like, what's going on here? What is going on? He is literally throwing blows on everybody, punching the crap out of people. I'm like, I'm all for this. Throw him to the ground.
Yeah, she is super swole. You know what's super swole?
I feel like that's our Abel. We didn't get Abel in 5. So now we have her. That's our Abel. And I'm scared because I hated fighting Abel. Abel had too many freaking options in 4. Abel had too many options in 4. He had too many. Like any time, don't matter where you were at mid, he can get you from mid. If you go like far, he can get you from far because he had that charge. And if you hold it long enough, you can go a pretty good full screen. And then because of how long you held it, it gives him an additional animation throw. So I'm like, freaking Abel. Like Abel had freaking too many options, and he had
the other thing that they did with Street Fighter that was really dope was the 2-on-2 stuff. Did y'all catch that?
Oh,
like the creative character was fighting, and then Ryu just jumped in.
Yeah,
and there was like 4 characters on the screen.
You know what? I feel like what if they brought back dramatic fights again? Because that was in Alpha 3.
That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
Or like 2-on-2 fights.
As long as I don't like Dragon Ball Z, we're good. I don't want to be like 30 minutes to do a super. Like Dragon Ball Z. Come on, bro. I got things to do.
Oh man.
But yeah, that was super dope. Like Ryu just jumped in with the creator character,
forgot
and they
about
were
that.
both like fighting two characters at the same time. So
Mm.
there were literally 4 characters on the screen fighting at one time. That was dope.
I think they messed around with that in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They messed around with that, but
Yeah,
it was
that's exactly where that came from.
yeah.
They
They
came from
did
Street
Street
Fighter
Fighter
Cross
Cross
Tekken.
Tekken, which was it was pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for they have a beta coming, and I signed up for it. I missed the last one, but I signed up for this one, so I'm ready. I'm excited for that. So let's talk about. Oh, go ahead.
Something actually. Since you're talking about announcements.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
What did you think about Final Fantasy? When they showed that was up in my opinion. And I don't only play Final Fantasy. I play.
I'm gonna shut my mouth because I'm Final Fantasy nerd and I will always love Final Fantasy no matter what. So my opinion is completely invalid.
You know what? This is
I loved it.
This is a floor that we just geeked out about fighting games. So go ahead and geek out about Final Fantasy. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I think it looked really cool. Like I was actually impressed with it. Like I'll probably.
It looks really good.
Day one.
It looks really good. I love the fact that the summons are like the central thing going on. Like the fact that they're really bringing summons back. All the classic summons are coming back. I love the battle format. It looks like that's going to be really fun to play. Like it looks like they're getting some it's like they're mixing the old Final Fantasy with some new stuff. Like, and I love the direction they're going with it. But they're giving you that classic Final, like it is a Final Fantasy game. The moment you see Rama and Emperor, I'm like, yeah, this is Final Fantasy. And then they're mixing in that new Final Fantasy, I guess Final Fantasy VII remake / the previous one, that kind of actiony kind of style but still a little bit of the turn-based mixed in with it too. Like what they're doing with it is just super dope. And I cannot wait to get my hands on a new Final Fantasy game. Like, and it's going back to that good old fantasy setting.
Yeah.
Like it is like classic Final Fantasy setting. Like, and I am super excited to get my hands on a good RPG like that because, as you guys know, I am like an RPG fanatic. So like, I'm through the roof. I'm ready.
I think what I'm most excited about is the setting, like that, like you said, the return to that high fantasy. Like I want to see the old school jobs like Red Mage and all that come back, but in a new and unique way. Obviously, with the battle system, I'm curious how they're going to do that. It almost looks like they're taking the battle system a step further into like the action. I mean, it looked like Bayonetta or something. It looked really
yes.
I know Geek is. I'm not gonna assume he biting his tongue.
I wasn't biting my tongue. No, I was just listening because I agree with both of y'all, and I go back, with it. And when my homie was playing the original one in '91, so I know I'm excited for it because it's a new Final Fantasy, and regardless, I'm gonna drop like 8 hours into it. They do everything in it, try to platinum it. That's just Final Fantasy. Shit as I talk about no Luna DLC in Final Fantasy 15. The absence of a love story. Is Hanaru Sakagachi left? I'm still gonna
Bro, that pause.
13. I don't mess with 13 like that. I mess with 13 like that. Because Spell Lightning, I don't want to have to play 2 extra stories to make the main character of a Final Fantasy game relevant. Tetsuo, Naruma. Anyway, like there's an artist, bro. I actually really enjoy the 16. I like the Attack on Titan feel that they're doing with it.
Oh yeah,
because I was shitting all over the first trailer. I didn't care. I didn't like it. I didn't want to see it. I'm tired of it. I personally think they're making it look like a Western games. We were talking about that before. For me, Final Fantasy was synonymous with colors. And even if it wasn't a main theme, I don't know if it's no love theme on it. I seen the cutie pie fighting, the one in the maid outfit. I forgot her name. The one I seen her fighting, and she got the long hair now. Because remember, she had the short hair before. So I'm just cool. Now you already made me wait. I have to be able to play with Cindy, or what's his face, little sister, or Luna Freya, 15. I'm just like, I would like to see some kind of love story or some kind of romance in the Final Fantasy, even if they don't directly Squall and Renoa. I would like to see that. I think that I hope we're not getting to that, but it feels like it. From Elden's Ring to Skyrim to what else? The Baldur's Gate to we're getting in this Game of Thrones high fantasy thing, and games that stuck out for me a lot now are the ones that are like Xenoblade, because colors and the scheme and everything, how it looks. And Final Fantasy for me hasn't seemed like Final Fantasy for a while. And I get it, it's a whole nother direction, but Final Fantasy was synonymous also with revolutionary shit. It's like it reinvented the wheel. It was the trendsetter. It looks like they're doing the stuff that everybody else has done, except they're playing around with the old stuff. I like that, but I want to see it in a different manner. I want to see it a different way. When they went steampunk on 6, it was the same concept, but it was somewhere else. Even when they did 9, 9's not my favorite, but 9 had like 9 was fantasy, but 9 was science fiction. Like 9 had some old Goku, Vegeta Saiyan type stuff into it. It was a different, interesting story. But like, I can look like this could just be it. I digress. But I'm excited about the game, but I gotta have it. I gotta play it. Real talk, y'all. It hasn't been too many games that have did it for me like that in a long time. And unfortunately, it ain't been a Final Fantasy in a while. It's been Persona 5. It's been Fire Emblem. It's been Live a Live. Live a Live actually hit.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Hard. I almost said something crazy.
Yeah, that's dope.
Live a Live hits hard. Live a Live hits hard. And yeah, chapter 8, chapter 7, chapter 6, chapter 8. Get into them chapters. But Final Fantasy, I don't know. I want to care. Like,
I feel that.
I want to care more, and I don't feel like I've seen it. Like it's almost feels like Lost Odyssey a little bit. And Sakagaki made that in what, 2011? No, it has that feel. Can we take that? I know y'all gonna kill me with the space because I love space. Well, put it somewhere else. Take those sword and shield things. That's what made 7 so popular. It's because it was in a near future, thing. You don't have to make
like a steampunky kind of.
Yeah, but it was its own near future, and that's why it blew up. And I know what they're doing. Well, let's go back to medieval. But if you, it was good, but when it stacks up to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Well, nothing's ever going to stack up to 10. I'm going to tell you that right now. And 10 is literally my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. Nothing's ever going to top that one. That one is just all right. All right, let me get my Final Fantasy nerd on real quick. So, Final Fantasy X was a damn near perfect game. Like, it was story-wise, it had an amazing story. It had an incredible battle system. The leveling system was at the Sphere Grid was probably one of the best leveling systems I ever seen. Like, it looked beautiful. The HD edition looks even better. Like, Final Fantasy X to me was like the epitome of, like, it was everything Final Fantasy that you could get. The summons were amazing. The magics were amazing. The job class system, the way you could manipulate your characters to kind of make them whatever you really wanted them to be. Like, Final Fantasy X, you're never going to get anything like that again. I'm telling you, you're not.
Please tell me you like Blitzball.
Yeah. Oh my. What?
Because I had to. We both found out I was going to have to take. We was going to have to. That's about
man. I maxed out. I maxed out Blitzball. I had to get all the legendary weapons.
Thank you.
You can't get the legendary weapons without Blitzball. You
gotta get Waka slots up.
Yeah.
You gotta get Waka's a beast.
So I mean, I had no choice but to play the Blitzball. I'm sorry.
I instant 20, 30 hours into Blitzball, like easy, because I like the Aurochs, and I wanted that. I still wanted. Did you win? I won one time on the it's hard right in the beginning.
It is hard. I did beat it though.
The Aurochs, yeah, it's a different kind of hit. I always suggest it. I agree. 7 is my favorite. But 10 is my second favorite. In 10, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you get on it.
We got too
Tim was
many.
right.
We got too many
Tim-
RPG nerds here. This is going. We
Yeah, I'm the odd
is
man
that,
out.
is that one I always suggest to people, even now, that you should play. Because like you said, it's on PS4, so it still looks good.
It's on everything.
It was the first one with voice acting. Tim was the first one with those 3D models. Titus was a good character. It just moody ass Cloud, and we don't know the forest for the trees because Quistis is a baddie. You let Cypher have both your girls squall. You tripping. God damn. Quistis is a baddie, man.
Going full out.
Anyway, I don't even know what I was making by that. But Titus is a good character. Oh, Titus is a good character. Because you
Somebody
have
in the
these
chat
moody
said
characters.
Blitzball is greater than Triple Triad, and yes, you are absolutely correct.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, I was gonna say, seeing that trailer, it really makes me excited to see what Square does for Dragon Quest. Because Dragon Quest for me is like Final Fantasy for you
Ooh,
guys.
that's right.
I love it.
Now, I don't know if I talked about this with Geek or I talked about this with you, but I think we established that Dragon Quest has a bigger fan base out in Japan than it does out here, and Final Fantasy has a bigger fan base here than it is out there. So yeah, I'm excited to see both of those. When did we watch that event, Cliff? What was it, like 2 years ago when they had that Dragon Quest event, and they were just like, "Hey, we're gonna give you Dragon Quest."
I believe so. It was during like the anniversary.
Yeah, I think it was like Octopath Dragon Quest looking game, and then we got the announcement of Dragon Quest 12, which we haven't heard that yet. But I talked about this with Geek already, and it's gonna be piggybacking off what Switchbit and TJ said, where it's just like, I like the new direction that they're going. I do agree that it's starting to be a little bit of a action RPG, but for me, I like the immersion of it, because if there's like like what I've always felt the disconnect, and this is just me, if I'm watching this crazy cutscene happen and then all of a sudden it turns to turn-based, I kind of disconnect with that. I'm like, dang, I wish I can just immediately after that just jump in and just get involved in all the craziness. But I still enjoyed it, like even because of that. But what 7 Remake did, no, let me go back. What Crisis Core did, what 15 did, and what Final Fantasy Remake did was something that I truly appreciated, because I felt more immersed in the game. Where let's say in Final Fantasy 7, the bombing, when we fought the Scorpion, like right after you see the Scorpion come out of nowhere and just trash everything, you're picking like it's one of those moments where like you can't put the controller down. You gotta have your controller at the ready, because if you put it down, those 5 seconds you're trying to pick it up, you can get hit with something. So it's just like, oh cool, I gotta like be in it right now and pay attention to this. And I always love that, and I like what they're doing with the espers. They're not just espers. Like I think in all the other games they were just espers. They were just like your trump card if you needed help. In this game, it feels like they have more of a purpose, where it's like Attack on Titan, where everyone has a specific Titan that they're holding, and it looks like in this one there's 2 Ifrits, where it's like, okay, maybe I think his name is Clive, who has an Ifrit, and there's another character who has Ifrit, and it's just like, okay, is this person passing Ifrit to him? So he's like saying, hey, you gotta face me with this Ifrit and see where it's at, or it's just like there's just 2 Ifrits, and like one dude was gone and now Clive has it, Ifrit, and we're kind of getting to see where all this stuff is. But and I do like that, and I think the times when I call that world, I like to call it like the Warrior of Light, because that's like in Final Fantasy 14, where it's like that era where it's like the Warrior of Light story kind of setting is, because that's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm super excited for Final Fantasy 16. Like Geek said, I gotta get my hands on. I know I'm gonna love it, but I know that my final judgment will be when I actually get my hands on it and say, okay, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for, or this is like, okay, there's a lot of hype around it, but it's still, it's like it's still a good one.
Yo, my man got his hands up like it's a teacher class.
Let's say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I felt like last night at the Game Awards, I felt like I had to clarify it then. So I'm gonna clarify it. I'm gonna clarify it here. I'm not talking about the gameplay.
Oh no, yeah.
It should be different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about. I just wanted to throw it out for my own defense here. I'm talking about the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the Final Fantasy formula.
Oh yeah.
The Final Fantasy formula I just don't feel that it's the same direction. Okay, we had a direction before, and usually it was story has a male protagonist. The male protagonist, more or less, would meet this female character who the story was really about. Renoa, Terra, and then it was Celeste, and then Rydia, and then like that's why I thought that was going to be Luna Freya. You see what I mean? They have like the main story is about this first half is about Eric, the next half is about Tifa. The whole story is about Yuna. Titus is just there. He says it. This is not my world anymore. I'm kind of jealous of her. All these people love her. I remember when I used to deal with that, and then it stopped after the Spirits Within. They lost $21-something million, or the company went down. Haru Sakagachi left. Just that the direction of it was more about money, and that's where 14 and stuff came from too, and derived from it as well. And the remakes, they do extra remakes. Like, it's a lot of sevens. I buy them all, but it's a lot of sevens. Like truly with Crisis Core, I think we talked about this. Crisis Core it's kind of Avon Children's. It kind of undermines Cloud. Like more people like Zack now. Not that it's bad, it just keeps to the lore, but like makes you be like, oh, Cloud was just really trash. You really stole all your homie stuff and his girl, bro. Like that's what makes me mad about Cloud. Like even in Average Children, been living with Tifa, and I know y'all ain't just playing Pinochle for 2 years, and you still tripping off of Eric. Bro, come on, that's your homies. You have
I
already
do agree with you on that
established
part, though. I'm like,
you had already established that.
Spirits Within doesn't exist.
Already established that.
what is the Spirits Within? What is that? What
The
is it?
movie
that was the movie
Spirits
they made,
Within doesn't exist.
See, I knew this was going to be a problem when we had too many RPG heads on here. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen.
As the dark of the group, let me first say for everybody, nerds.
There's too many RPG nerds in the building. There's too many RPG nerds in here.
Let me help the
I knew this was going to happen.
I got y'all. Let me cleanse this for y'all. I got y'all. All I'm saying is, I want the smoke right now. Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 was simple and to the point. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to
Phantasy Star
think.
is a dope.
All I had to do was slash, block.
You had to time the buttons just right.
I'm supposed to get the combos. Repeat. Also, to be fair, you gotta remember, games are not for our generation anymore. So a lot of these new kids don't have that long time memory of doing things.
Yeah.
Of course, we're gonna keep it. If 7 is working, I'll do 7 over and over again, and I'm getting money from it.
Right.
So
of course. That's why they doing it. And that's why Link don't talk. That's why there's no need for Pokemon. They're going to buy it. I just bought a $76.99 Last of Us like an ass for no reason when I had it for PS3 twice and PS4. I mean, I'm not made of money. I got role-playing games to play. I'm sorry. Go ahead. A moment. See, y'all, I didn't want to get hyped up with this Final Fantasy.
No, that's cool. That's why I brought you.
Hyped up with the hype Messiah here. Wait,
he said the hype Messiah. That's a good one.
Oh man.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna say nothing else about RPGs. I'm done. I'm
gonna
say
something else. I'm definitely gonna say something else. Let me just say this beforehand.
Go ahead.
We talked about it before. Also, since they merged, it ain't been the same.
Yeah,
they merged in Enix and Square. They don't give a shit about Star Ocean. Really don't. Like this Star Ocean. This Star Ocean is not the same level that they put into Final Fantasy. And
Definitely low
Dragon
budget.
Quest.
Definitely low budget.
We just got dropped Diofield Chronicles, Harvestella, Front Mission, and like 6 games at one time. And let's be honest here, they might be good and they'll be cult classics one day. Do you feel that those games are up to the Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest level?
No, like we saw it in the trailers. We saw it in the trailers when they first showed us the trailers. Like I was like, this looks really low budget. for a Square Enix game. It looks low budget for
it's
like
a different
the
team, but it's like
yeah like
it almost feels like that Vince McMahon did to WCW
Mhm.
once WWF at the time.
Why you had to go there like that, bro? Why you had to go there?
I had to do it because that's what they doing.
Why you had to go
That's what they doing to
Why you had to go there, though?
It's the truth. That's what they doing.
I'm
Like
still
they're like,
stuck
you
on
know
that.
what? We're gonna like really just humiliate Booker T. Like, but
He's not lying,
Lord.
though. He's
bad
not
blood,
lying,
see
though.
them boys dirty.
oh man yeah I don't even know what else to talk about. That was like we should just end it here. That's
Okay,
It's
I was
ending
gonna
on
ask
a
about
high note.
It's a lot to talk
Ended
about.
on a high note. But so the one thing I noticed, man, is after the Game Show Awards, a lot of people were upset about a lot of the choices that were the awards that were given to certain games. Like me and Geek talked about this. We were like, when we even watched it, God of War took almost every single category. The game just came out.
Yeah.
Took every single category, almost every single category. And some people were cool about it, and some people were like, what the heck? Like, I remember there's a reaction I watched where the player's choice, and I think God of War was on there, and player's choice was Genshin Impact. People were upset about that. Like, people were actually really upset about that. I'm just like, that's like, it was, yeah. I wasn't expecting it, but I was like, okay, cool. They got player's choice. All right, cool. I think they said they got rid of they went through all the ballots. They got rid of all the bot choices on there. So it was like all human choices, and it all went to Genshin Impact, and people were mad. And when it came to the Game of the Year award, it went to Elden Ring, and that just, everybody was just tripping off that. Like, even I was surprised.
Yeah,
I was like,
it
dude,
was surprising because we like, even us, like, we thought that that God of War was gonna instantly get it because they got 2 awards previously. It was definitely a shock. We were like, oh, okay, Elden Ring, okay, not bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I wasn't that surprised. Like, I was kind of what I was expecting for Elden Ring to win Game of the Year, because just based, like, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I actually don't like Elden Ring. Like, I'm not into that style of gameplay. Like, games that's just hard, for the so-called difficult games, where it's not really difficult. It's really just waiting hard. And being, like, you wait, you dodge, you attack, you wait, you dodge, you attack. Like, for me, it just doesn't do anything for me. But I can respect the impact that game had on the industry.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, when that game came out, nothing else was out. Nothing else mattered. Everything was Elden Ring. Now every game that's since then has tried to be Elden Ring. Like, everything is taking that style now. Like, you got Forspoken is kind of doing their thing, but they're doing it with magic, or everybody's kind of putting their own twist on that Dark Souls kind of gameplay. And like, it was an industry changer. That game was too big not to win Game of the Year. It was too big. Like, if you look at Twitch at that time frame, everybody was playing it. If you look at YouTube, there was 1 million videos coming out about Elden Ring every single day. Like, the game was too big not to win. It was too big.
Yeah,
it was basically like Breath of the Wild.
Popular.
Yeah, you know what's? Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead, Switch it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have two points to make. So Genshin came out in 2021. So I'm wondering.
I think it was 2020. I think it was 2020 it came out during the
yeah. It didn't come out in 2022, so I'm wondering why it's even in this year's these Game Awards, right? Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
that
was weird.
Is confusing. But I think God of War won a lot of great awards, and I think it's deserving. You know, voice acting and that kind of stuff. But just like TJ said, it was so massively popular when Elden Ring came out. It was breaking sales records. I mean, bigger than any Souls type game had done. And just because God of War is fresh and new and people are, you know, thinking about it now, I'm glad to know that the people voting could separate that and recognize like the zeitgeist and the power that Elden Ring did have at that time, because it's God of War can't compete with the impact that Elden Ring had, in my opinion.
Not even close. Like, I actually like God of War. Like, that I like that game way more than I like Elden Ring. But I can sit back and be like, God of War did not have the same kind of impact that Elden Ring had when it came out. It just didn't. It just didn't.
It's crazy how people can't recognize that. Where it's like, like God of War just came out, so for them to kind of expect this huge impact in what 3 weeks, like it's yes, it's like it sold units, but like Elden Ring came out in the beginning of the year, and it's had all this time. It's like. I'm gonna kick it to this, and some people appreciate that. It's like being in the music industry, right? Where it's like you have somebody who's put in the work for that year, who's created a lot of hits and just like knocked it out the park, and has put in the work for that 6 months, 8 months to 11 months, and then when the Grammys come along, right before the Grammys come, someone new comes out, and they just they do it too, but it's like in the span of like 3 weeks, they can't make a huge impact, but they can get a little bit of milestones here and there. And then when they're in the nomination of Artist of the Year or whatever, and it goes to the person who put that work in before, and people are like, oh, well, he should have won. It's like, well, technically he's like 3 weeks old in this game. It hasn't hit a lot of people like that yet. This person was here in the beginning of the year, and he did one couple songs or whatever, and he got views and all that, so he is deserving of that, so, and made that impact. You're right. Elden Ring, for me, I never play games like that. I've tried, and there was just so much hype about it. I'll never forget. It was like right before I was going to work, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna play it. Let me pick this up. So I bought it, played a little bit of it, went to work, came back, put more time into it, and realized that this is probably one of the best games I played this year is Elden Ring, because I don't play games like that, and for the fact that for me who doesn't mess with soul games, and for me to die, I say I have at least like 200 hours. For someone who doesn't play a game like that, I've sunk in so many hours, and that goes into saying what TJ was saying, is that the impact it did have for people who did play the game, who like games like that, and for those who never touched games like that and said, I'll give want to see what the hype is about. And I've gotten slack from people. I said this game was easy. Like the first two beginning bosses, I like sweeped, and people were like, what do you mean it's easy? I struggled. I was like, all I did was look for how to get strong fast, and I did that in the next hour, and I swept 2 bosses like nothing. And people got mad at me because I swept 2 bosses by myself.
I guess for me, I'm just different minded. I never took video game awards seriously or any award seriously, because I always thought it was just marketing scheme to me, just a way to market something. Because at the end of the day, who cares what they vote for the game of the year? The game of the year should be the game you like. It won't affect my life. And besides, I already played the hardest game of life other than Elden Ring called Life. That's already
okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's an MMO. People don't have a choice but to play.
That's it, right?
Yeah, man, it's the greatest MMO ever.
I have a question. Who did everybody vote for Game of the Year? I voted for Xenoblade personally.
Xenoblade.
Yeah. You know what?
That was my choice. I knew it wasn't going to win though. Yeah, that was my choice.
I wanted Xenoblade to win, but I knew Elden Ring. I hoped Elden Ring took it.
I'm gonna piggyback off what 1000 Star said. I didn't care either. I made predictions, but I never whoever won. Like, it was cool that God of War was in there from a short period of time it's been out, and it was there. I thought that was cool. For me, it was either Elden Ring or God of War is gonna win it. Forbidden West was fun, amazing game. Xenoblade will forever be one of my favorite Switch games of all time this year. What was else? Wow. Stray.
Mine up, bro. He's like, my favorite games this year for the Switch. I'm like, so
no, but it was because I
build them up to break them down, bro.
No, I had a lot of Switch games that I bought, and for Xenoblade to come out and for me to play that, I think even as many hours I put into Pokemon, I still Xenoblade has been my most anticipated, and I enjoyed it from when it first came out to when I finished it. But and then it was Stray, which people say was cool, but then I think Geek said someone was I don't want to play as a cat the entire time. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play.
I don't think that was
No, when we weren't talking about that yesterday, we were like, it was Stray, and I thought you meant something like, it's a cool game, but you know what? It probably wasn't you. I was talking to someone else that day about that. But
most of the time I don't play games because I'm playing an RPG. That's
right.
why I didn't play Elden Ring. Don't cut me up. Or God of War, because I was playing other games. I Triangle Strategy or Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
RPG or which I really thought that was a Western RPG until you told me. Kotetsu told me, he's like, well, that's Bandai Namco. I was like, I didn't look like a Bethesda game to me, honestly. And I just it look lonely, and I like a party. I like a party.
You know what's funny? We've talked about this too, Geek, where Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has spoiled us because they gave us all 8 party members at the same time. And I remember it was another RPG. I was playing Star Ocean, and then you can only play as 3. And I'm like, bro, I'm so conditioned to have 8 with me right now. I'm not used to going back to 3
at the same time.
Yeah, in the Xenoblade Chronicles 3, every character, all the characters that you meet up, that all 7, you get to, they're all in your party, and then you have guest characters with you, and they don't replace anybody. They're right there with you too, the entire time.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's stressful.
Yeah, it was actually pretty manageable.
Those of y'all who play both, I was looking at one of the homies' podcasts, the HPMP podcast, and they were debating, discussing this, or talking about it. And I have to agree with Shadow Elite. He made this point. Ocean 6 has better inter-character dialogue than Xenoblade. You've played both. Oh, no. Ocean 6, I got 7 characters now, 6 or 7 characters.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those, when you do a different combination, they have their own conversation with each other. It's always different almost.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say the same thing unless you die and go back.
Okay.
Xenoblade, I love Xenoblade.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I'm the girl with the gall.
Yeah, you hear that every time. Yeah. It's like a generic call. Yeah.
It's rhyme time.
It's that. Yeah, it's right. It's rain time.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. You know what? I haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten that far in Star Wars. I got to the point where you meet what's her name's cousin. Who is it? I think I have like 5 or 6 because I got to the part where you meet what's her name's cousin, and now you're going to another part of the map. I forgot, but that's where I stopped off at because I'm like, I want to play at this.
You should have 6 people then.
Okay,
because you're on the same part that I'm in. You should have my baby Elena.
Oh yeah, I got her. Yeah,
you got Elena.
y'all kind of remind me of a question I want to ask y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What are games that impacted you in a good way and a bad way?
You mean this year or overall?
Overall. For me, Gears of War 2, when Domino finally got his wife back and he saw what happened to her. And what was the other one for me? Phantasy Star Online, when I finally got to meet the character I was talking to the whole time through the message device.
That's
Red Ring Rico?
Say again?
Red Ring Rico? Is that who it
was? Red Ring.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's how the most impact on me. I think I'm gonna let someone else go because I can't.
I'll hop in real quick, and it's a recent one. Games usually don't get me. Like Final Fantasy VII didn't get me back in the day. The game that's had the biggest impact as far as like emotionally, it was Xenoblade 2. And I was just so invested in Xenoblade 2 and
I feel
the way it was like climaxing and the twists and turns in the last few chapters. Like I didn't have a tear in my eye, but like it was forming. I had to like suck it back in. But yeah, that's definitely the one that stands out most to me.
I know what mine is, but it's don't you guys pick on me at all because I am a sucker. I am a sucker for these moments in video games. But for me, it's Final Fantasy X. It's the scene where they're I think it's called Macalania. They're in Macalania Lake, and Titus and Yuna are discussing when Titus finally finds out that if she does the final summoning that she dies. and he's just like there. He's like talking about all the stuff they're gonna do after they've, after she kills Sin, and she like finally tells him like there's not gonna be an after, and like she starts crying, and then he comes up behind her and grabs her and holds her, and then they finally have their first kiss.
The DMCA music comes on, so you can't.
Yeah. Oh man.
So you can't stream it.
It got me, man. It got me. Because it was just that moment. It was just like, look, I'm not going to be alive after we complete this quest. We're not going to be able to do all these things that we want to do together. We're not going to be able to be together.
That's
So
crazy.
like,
That's
and
crazy.
he was just like, oh man, that part got me. That part got me.
Ain't seen nothing like that in 12, 13, 14. I don't know 14. I don't count 14 or 15.
No.
I mean, I don't see nothing. I see the Handmaid in 16. I mean, just saying, I don't want no trouble with y'all.
That remind me of Kingdom Hearts when Sora killed himself to save.
Yeah.
What?
That's another one.
Oh yeah,
That's
he
another
did.
one.
I was like, wait, what? He killed himself, but yeah, he turned into a Heartless.
He took the Keyblade and
Heartless.
he wanted to free. Oh, that was a good one too.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
He did it with no thought. He just did it.
I have my qualms against.
He's like,
Kingdom
oh, if
Hearts.
I just stab myself in the heart, I can save her. All right, let's go. Boom! I'm like, oh, bro, think about it for a minute. Wait a minute, chill out.
I think for me, I'm not gonna say God of War because it just came out, but it did have an impact on me. But I say for sure is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because I think the scene where everyone's getting bodied by what's his face, and then Pyra was
Malos.
like, yeah, Malos. Everyone's getting bodied, and then Pyra was like, "Stop! I'll go with you." And then,
oh yeah,
and Rex,
right now.
Yeah. Like when that happened, and I was recording. I mean, I was recording I was doing a walkthrough, and I was commenting the entire thing. And then when that scene came on, yeah, you're right. Like it's, you as a player are invested in something like that and kind of connect with these characters. And then when something like that happens, you're just like, I can't play anymore today. I'm done playing today. And so that's where I literally, when that happened, I cut my recording off. I said, I'm done playing this today, because the fact that I was so invested and then something like that happens, and games don't do that to me. It takes a special game to do that to me. For like with the like I mentioned, God of War did it to me, and I was just like, I feel like when games can do that to me, make me, and even in the beginning, yeah, it's already a telling. It's a telling that, okay, this game is going to be really good. If I'm about to freaking cry right now and it's only been 10 minutes in this freaking game, then yeah, I can definitely say that. Zap said that hers was Edith Finch.
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah. What Remains of Edith. Yeah, she said that one helped her through a hard time, and that's cool too, man. Like when games can do that, when games can, like, it's funny when you hear people say video games are either like a waste of time or they don't do stuff like that, and it's just like, well, how do you know it doesn't do stuff like that if you haven't gone through it and found something that can help you cope or help you realize your situation and be able to move forward from that.
For real.
So
I definitely agree with you on that. I remember watching, there was a video I had watched a couple months ago by a lady in the UK who was in her 70s, I believe. And she told a story about how she got into gaming. And she brought up a lot of stories about RPGs that were really emotional playing through. And it just shows the power of video games as a medium. And I was going to say, for mine, my two games are Dragon Quest XI.
Okay.
Just the story as a whole. That was one of my first big boy RPGs that I played. I played casual RPGs like Paper Mario, but Dragon Quest was like the first like big boy beefy. This is like an actual JRPG game. And at first, I remember like just going on Steam casually, looking at the trailer. I'm like, you know what, I might give this a shot. And it was hilarious because the week before I was gonna buy Dragon Quest 11 on Steam, there was a Nintendo Direct, and they showed S.
S.
I was like, okay, I'll wait. I'll wait till S comes out. I played through S, beginning to end, and that game was amazing. I love the story. Probably one of the most emotional stories in a video game I've ever experienced. Just being hero throughout the entire journey and learning about what happened in the past and then how you're able to change the future. It was just really good, and that game had so many good characters, so many great characters in that game.
Yeah.
And the second one for me was the original Last of Us. The Last of Us
Okay.
got me into PlayStation. Before, I had dabbled with a PS1, PS2 from friends and family who had them, but I never had a PS1. I never had a personal PlayStation system. And I remember around 2014, something like that, watching a playthrough on YouTube of Last of Us, and I was hooked from like the first 10 minutes. And then once I actually played the game and I was controlling Sarah, and then you see that scene where Sarah gets shot down, you're like, what is going on? You know, like, and then the scene in Last of Us where Ellie tells Joe, you know, it's talking about, you know, finding out about Sarah, and you know, and saying, you know, like, in my family, you know. And then, you know, Joe and Ellie have that conversation like, you're not my daughter. But then eventually Joe has feelings for Ellie, and it's so sweet. And he has to make the most
In the end, right?
dangerous choice that you could imagine. And he makes that choice at the end.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Yeah, that one was
damn,
crazy.
Yeah.
like, damn, what game?
Yeah.
What a game. And I actually can't wait for 2. I need, like, that is like a game I literally have it. I need to play it.
It's good.
I've been waiting on it.
It's good. Miggy said his game was Mass Effect 2. He said he had to cut the stream because it got in his feelings. It was a DLC mission where the scientist was using his brother with special needs to communicate with another character. That's actually crazy. And then Slunklebomb says that FF6 and FF4 always makes her cry. I get, yeah. Like I said, when I played God of War,
FF6 is a good one. That is a good. That game has a couple moments in it.
So before we get to that, what about you? Or the next segment? What about you, Geek? What's the game that? Yeah.
I'm not gonna make a long soliloquy. I'm not gonna do a whole long thing. It's Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger changed my life. Chrono Trigger is the reason I still want to do game design and things, is because I was used to playing NBA Jam, Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, the Genesis, the original console wars things. I didn't know. And I rented Chrono Trigger, and I was like, characters look cool. This is before I watch anime. This is before I put the two connection to Goku and Chrono and Luca and Bulma. This is just like literally in innocence. I'm like 13, 14 years old. This is, you know, so I rented it at Video Zone. Never forget it. It was summer vacation. I was listening to Aaliyah and, oh God, R. Kelly. Black Street.
Oh, you know what game history? You remember the tape deck.
I just made another album, I know. On the tape deck, where you flip side A, side B.
Oh man!
And I was playing that game, and Chrono bumps into Meryl. Know what the hell? I go and pick up the pendant first. I don't talk to Meryl. You know, I don't know what kind of game this is. And when we go back in time, and then it's a part of the game too, where Chrono dies as well. Chrono sacrifices himself, and I'm like, I'm used to playing Sonic, and you touch something and the rings come out. So it was just it hit different. Unfortunately, Final Fantasy VII was spoiled for me. That's my second favorite game, but it was spoiled for me because I make love to these games. Even as a kid, I was doing the nasty with these games. And the homie, he came. Well, he wasn't a homie actually, because he spoiled a whole bunch of games for me. He told me, because I was taking too long on the game, and Aerith was one of my favorite characters. I always had Aerith and Tifa.
No.
Why would you not have Aerith and Tifa in your party.
Oh no, I understand.
So what he did
understand.
What he did for me is he came, he goes, sipping on a Pepsi. Pietro was his name. And he says, by the way, Quentin Harris dies. I said, Harris dies? This is 1997.
Like what?
It's like November-ish. Maybe around this time in 1997. You know, the game just came out. I'm taking my time. I had other responsibilities. Pietro. He also ruined Luffy.
Why you bring back bad memories, bro?
Also ruined Final Fantasy VIII. They're orphans. He ruined all these games for me because I took a long time to play. I like to do everything. I like to look at everything. But up until recently, I'm gonna say 2 years. No, matter of fact, on Switch, on stream, 2018, 2019, I beat Final Fantasy VII legit first time. I went and bought a Game Shark, the one you put on the back of the PlayStation, and I resurrected Aerith. I'll call her Aerith now. I resurrected her, and it was her, Tifa, and Cloud I beat the game with. She doesn't show up at the end of the game.
Whoa. Wait. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by the Game Shark can do that?
Game Shark could do that, bro. This is 1997.
Wait, what?
Had the packs of the code.
Game Shark wasn't no joke.
I did not know this.
And I never fully, I beat the game, but I hadn't beat it without code. So I beat it like that. Yeah, that game, those two are the ones that are probably the most influential for me. Chrono Trigger also, because I had the choice to play Trigger or 6. So 6 could have been my favorite game. But that Final Fantasy VII was the first game I really played in depth. Ironically enough, I probably played Final Fantasy VIII more than 7, to be real with you. But those were the games that, like, those are the main ones that impact me. Once I got there, it was like, it was just like, once you find something you really like, you keep going back to it. It's like a high. Like once after Chrono Trigger, I was like, I gotta have, I gotta have it. And then that's when they redid Link. Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games. Like they redid Link completely, where Link was like now a Cloud type dude, sweet, like he was a grown man. I'm like, okay, well, it was a whole other different era and stuff. But those are the ones that I would say probably those two, but mainly Chrono Trigger. Just Chrono Trigger. It's just so much, even though Chrono doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. I hate that. That's the only reason. That's my only gripe about it.
Oh man, thank you, 1000 Star, for that question, man. That was actually cool. Just that
was dope.
I'm not the only person who cries at video games. I got heckled once. They're like, "You cry in video games?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a human." Some tugs at the strings. They tug at the string. But anyway, we're gonna go into our next segment. We recapped Game Awards. That was cool. Now we're going to talk about the reason why I have these guys here. We have SwitchBit, 1000 Star, and TJ here. It's because we're going to talk about the forming.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
No, go ahead.
Can't not talk about the game. I was waiting for it. This little creepy ass kid that crept up.
Yes.
Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yes.
About that.
So I want to go context before.
Like what?
I want to. My bad, because we were just into this deep conversation. I'm like, bro, this is a great segue, but I forgot about that. So Cliff, I'm gonna ask you last because you were there. So I'm gonna ask. Yeah. So you'll be the last one to talk because you were there. So you had to
I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. So me and Geek were watching. We were both in the Discord call and we're watching it. And it got to where Elden Ring, everyone, they won their award. And then Geek was like, "Hey, who's that?" And I'm thinking he's talking about the presenter on the other side. I'm like, we talking about that's the presenter who did the take two. You're like, no. Like who's this kid in the back? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking I saw him, but I'm thinking he's just like their crew who came up, but he looked kind of young. And in my eyes, like he's probably like a person who did like music or something in the designer part of the thing that was like not irrelevant, but it was like he was there with them and he walked up. But it bothered me. I was like, yeah, who is this? This dude is kind of young. And then when they finished, they wrapped up their award and stuff. And then he came in and he said, what did he say? He's like, I want to give a nomination to, I couldn't catch it, but all I heard was with something Rabbi Bill Clinton, and then it just kind of just like it just kind of paused,
Like,
and then and you see Jeff Keighley like, okay, and then just got back to it, and then Geek was like, me and Geek were like, who is this kid? So we scrubbed back like 3 times trying to find him, and Geek was like, yo, he snuck in through the middle of the aisle. Like, he didn't roll with them right when they got to the point where they're going up the stage. He just got up, walked in with them and blended in. And like, I feel like for me, if I was like security and I saw that, I would have been like, yo, we need to get him off the stage, because I even said after, I was like, yo, anything could have happened. Anything. How smooth he walked up there. And I think people were just like, hey, we're going to.
Hands in his pocket.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get this kid once it's done, because it could have caused a big commotion of that. But at the same time, that would have been too late if something happened. But, you know, thankfully it didn't. It was just some kid who was trolling. And then I was talking to a friend today at work, and he was like, apparently this kid has done something like this before at the other game show awards, but he's done it outside of the game show. He's never like went inside and did it. He did it outside of it. But yeah, like the second they went off the air, like that Bill Clinton thing was trending like crazy after that happened. Like crazy after it happened. So
and he got arrested too.
Yeah, he got arrested for that.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, said they said, I think Jeff Keighley he posted, he said this kid got arrested.
Really, he should have. I mean,
like he was fucking pissed when understandably. And like the funniest thing is that like literally like after they give their speech, like we're like standing up ready to go, and then we hear someone talking on the mic. We're like, oh, okay, it's probably like a translator or something like that. And then like the first half sounded so legit, and then we hear Bill Clinton. We're like, what the fuck's going on?
What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of that? Like that, I mean, what did you think? It was crazy, but like it's someone said it stole the show for a little bit, and I'm just like, he got his little 15 whatever, but
yeah, like it wasn't that significant. Like like the developers still was able to get their time. The one question is, I'm surprised that they weren't like shocked. Like who is like. I was surprised how he got on too, because basically how it works for seed fillers, if he was likely a seed filler, is all the seed fillers. We came in around like 30 minutes before the show starts, and they all had us within like the first 5 rows, mainly like where the nominees would be if they had to get up to do a speech. So I was thinking like he might have been in the same role in Man to Sneak in, but I'm surprised that like none of the devs were like, who is this guy? Who did? Who is he? I thought he was like a translator or something. Like it looked legit until he started speaking.
The thing was, he was in the back. Like if you watched it, he was behind everybody. So then when everyone already got up there, he just smoothly went to the back and just sat there. And then you can tell he was like timid because he kept doing this. He kept looking around and kept sidestepping and doing all. He was very timid. He was like, if someone catches me, that's it. But no one did anything until he finished his speech. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, I will say, security is that luckily, before you even get in, you do have to go through security. There's you have to put all your stuff in the box, and they scan it, and then they scan you. So there is good security before you came inside the building.
That's crazy though.
Luckily, nothing happened. Luckily, we were all safe.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
I wasn't too bothered by it. I thought it was weird. Like I immediately was like texting my buddies. I was like, "Did y'all see that?" And they were like, "No, what are you talking about?" So I rewound it. But at least he waited until they were done. He didn't interrupt their speech.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny, and it actually probably brought more attention to the show, and I don't think in a negative way. Like it's been all over my TikTok and stuff, and people who have no idea what the Game Award is. They're
right.
It's a Game Award show, so I don't think it's that big of a deal.
That's true.
Personally.
It was just funny because Geek
I
was
honestly just had no clue what was going on. I was just like, okay, that just happened. All right, what's next?
It was just funny because Geek was like, "Who is that?" And I'm just like, "That's the dude who announced." He's like, "No, the kid behind them." And I was just like, "Who is that?" And we were just sitting there.
Me, it's like Will Smith slap for me, honestly, because I didn't watch the Oscars. And I was paying attention to I was paying attention to the Game Awards, but nothing exactly for me. I knew they weren't going to do anything Zelda because they're going to wait. Why would they? I mean, this was the game. We all thought it was the game of, most of us thought it was, God of War time. Like they strategically placed their game right around the time where they made the deadline. They could be, they could beat the Game Awards. I was like, oh shoot, what is this kid doing? So that was like,
yeah,
that coffee, that adrenaline.
I think the interesting thing is that not even like we didn't even know whether we were still live. So when it happened, we thought that we were off the air. We didn't know we were still live.
It was still we were like, what did he say? And we scrubbed back and we're just like, oh my gosh. And then Bill Clinton was trending and
you got one thing to say. And you say that?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Because when we first saw it, we thought he was pissed about a game not being nominated. So we scrubbed back, and then we're like, "Oh, that's what he said. He was just trolling everybody." But I thought that was kind of funny. That was funny. It was funny to me, just the build up. When Geek was like, "Who was that kid?" And it was just that whole moment there was just to the end. It was
okay.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. I forgot about that. Thank you, Geek, for bringing. I forgot. I was gonna talk about it, but then we have such a great conversation. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna segue to this here, but now we can segue over to now we can segue over there to this to the talking about the forming of MasterSwordMusic, because if you guys didn't know, I'm a part of it too, and we were just talking about just the how much we've done in these past not even a month yet that we've got finished. I'm not going to talk about it because that's something we're going to go on, that we're going to save that. But I just want to just talk about how this whole thing got started, and then just kind of asking everyone's inspiration on just doing music like this based on video games and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kick it over to TJ so he can give us the origin story of that.
Well, okay, so this is actually will be the first time me telling this story, because it goes back really deep.
I thought we talked about this kind of before, but this is
we
cool.
have,
right. Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm going to go to the actual origins of the idea itself.
Nice.
Which I don't know if I've ever told this story before. Switch might know.
Everyone, grab your popcorn.
But it all started. Well, first of all, it just started with me. I've always been a musician. I've always been into music. So I come from a musical family where everybody in my family is either sings or plays an instrument or does something musical. So music has just always been a part of my life at a very young age. And another thing that's always been a part of my life at a young age was gaming. I started with the Nintendo, and then I fell in love with gaming ever since. So, and it's funny because while Geek was talking about Chrono Trigger, that's what really sparked all these memories in my head, because Chrono Trigger was the game that really merged my two loves. Because in my opinion, Chrono Trigger has one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. The music in that game is just, every song is an absolute banger. From the very beginning to the very end, every song on that game slaps. And that's where I really started paying attention to the music of video games. And I was just like, man, somebody had to compose this. Somebody had to write this. Somebody had to, because as a kid, you don't really think about it. You're just oh, the game just has music in it. That's just what it is. But no, somebody had to create this music. Somebody had to write it, perform it. There was a process that had to go through for this to happen. And I just grew this appreciation for music and video gaming. So, years later, I'm getting older, and I'm watching stuff on YouTube, and I'm watching people talk about video game music, and I'm watching people talk about video games, but I never really seen a whole lot of people talk about, music and video games, together as a thing. And I was, I don't know what made me really want to get into it, but I was learning, at that time, I was learning music production, how to put beats together and how to do these things. And then one day, I could tell you exactly what it was. It was Shala's theme. And I just was I wonder if I could recreate that. I wonder if I could just I'm learning how to do all this stuff. Could I recreate this in my music engine? So I just started playing around and putting it together, and I'm like, man, that sounds really cool. And then I started adding my drums to it, started making it my own. And I was like, man, this is actually really freaking cool. Like, this sounds really, really dope. But I didn't really have anybody around me that would understand it, that I could really share it with. Like, cause I don't have a lot of gamers in my family or a lot of like friends in my local, community. So I was like, how can I share this with other? I want people that get it to hear this. And then that's when, YouTube was really, that's when YouTube came to me. And I started way back with a YouTube channel called DJ Nintenja, which is basically, Ninja and Nintendo put together. Was the name, how I came up with the name. And I started doing these video game remixes. And I was doing it, and it was, it was like, just a little something that I was messing around with, and then I kind of just left it alone. And then some time went by, and I started playing around with it again. And that's when that evolved into TJ the Gamer. So I finally decided, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take this a little more seriously this time. And I really started breaking it down and really started, chopping up these remixes and putting them together. And it was doing pretty good. I was getting a couple views here and there, and it was pretty good for us. I was having fun doing it, but then the creator in me wanted to do something more. I was like, what else can I do with this? What else can I do to make this more attractive and make more people want to watch? So that's when I started, rapping to these beats that I made, to these remixes that I'm doing. I started putting together these songs, and it all started with a song called Video Games. And it literally is just me rapping about video games and my love for video games. And it was the first video I ever put together. And once I did that, that really started, like, people really started paying attention. And I was like, ooh, like, because I didn't really promote it. I wasn't on any like social media platforms at that point. I literally just made a video, put it up on YouTube, and somehow people started watching. And then that's when I was like, man, this could actually, I might be on to something here. So then that's when I created my Twitter platform, and I just started posting stuff and like started getting views. And then I was just like, this is really, really cool. And then I met a bunch of wonderful people that some of which I'm still friends with to this day, like my man Switchbit. And from there, it just kind of snowballed out into what would eventually become MasterSwordMusic. So like going down the list, it's like the first person I ever worked with was my man Switchbit. Just out of nowhere, I guess he had been checking out my content. And I'll probably, matter of fact, I'll let Switch tell the
Okay.
story, because he can tell it a lot better than me.
All right, so yeah, I was on Twitter, and I don't really, at that point, really didn't get on Twitter that much. But yeah, I saw somebody had shared your channel on YouTube, and I hopped over there, not really knowing what to expect, and then I saw the video games video, and it was really cool. If I recall correctly, you had some effect where you like grabbed a sword and like lightning like popped, and it like all of a sudden turned into this like video game rap, and I was just like, that's the coolest thing, because that's one of the things that I've always done by myself, is like freestyle and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of playing around with it. And I thought that was really, really cool, really unique. And then I had a fledgling YouTube channel I just started, and it was all about hunting video games. But at the beginning of every video, I always did a skit. And one of the skits that I did, which I just recently remembered and posted up on Twitter, was me just doing like a little rap. And I guess that put the bug in me. And then I saw that video of him, and I decided to actually make my own. And he was the first person. I mean, this random dude, he didn't follow me on Twitter. Like, I followed him just started following like maybe a week prior. I made a little 1 minute rap about Octopath Traveler, and then I sent him just a direct message, and I was like, bro, I see what you're doing, it's dope. I don't know what I'm doing, but here, check this out. And from there, yeah, just he got on the remix immediately on that, and it was just, I mean, ever since.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was the first collaboration I ever did. Like me and he sent me this song, and I'm just like, yo, this dude is dope. Like it's really cool. I never thought I would meet anybody else doing the same kind of thing that I was doing. And I heard the song, and he was like asking for my opinion, and I'm just like, dude, like the song is dope. Can I get on it? Like that's what I ain't worried about none of that stuff. Can I get on the joint?
I was so nervous too, bro. I was like, oh man, what am I doing? He's gonna think I'm stupid. I'm so nervous.
I was like, this dude is dope. Like I saw something in him that I was just like, man, I gotta work with him. I gotta work with him. And we ended up doing this song called 8 Ways, which is actually still up on his YouTube, the 8 Ways remix.
I would put on Spotify. I can't get the licensing to the track though. So.
I know we gonna try to figure out something for that though. But the video is still up on his YouTube, and it was a dope track. And then after that, me and him kind of just like it's ever since then, me and him have been friends, and we've been going back and forth and doing songs. I've done songs with him, he's done songs with me, and we just became friends like after that. And we actually grew at one point we had grown a whole community. It was called the Press Start community, and it was Press Start. And we was just a bunch of people who had just came together, a bunch of content creators that came together. We were all working together, sharing stuff, collaborating with each other, and just it had turned into a whole big thing. And I'm telling you, man, this is a journey. So y'all gonna have to rock with me for a little bit. But this is gonna be the first time me really telling this full story out. So it's gonna be interesting. At that point, I had started going through some stuff in my personal life. There was a lot of stuff going on with my family, with my health, and I was falling apart. At one point, I actually thought I was going to lose my voice and that I wasn't never going to be able to sing or rap again. And I had to have surgery done, and I was just going through it at that point. And I just was like, I just kind of gave up on everything. I was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I was so disappointed that this thing that I was growing I wasn't going to be able to do it anymore. And it was just too much going on in my life. So I kind of just stepped away from everything and just kind of walked away. But the music was still in me. Like that's the one thing this idea that I had created about video games and music and putting them together to do this thing is just, I couldn't walk away from it completely. So after all my surgeries, it was done and I started getting my voice back and things started to come around and life started to get better. I decided that I wanted to come back, but the idea had changed. I wanted to take it to even a further level. So I had this crazy idea. So, all right, before that, so I started coming back, I started writing stuff and putting stuff together, and it was just like, this is getting really cool. I kind of like where this is going. And that's when I started making my own original music. I was like, okay, so this, because I was having issues with doing the remixes, and like sometimes like if you use certain footage or if you use certain sounds, they would take it down and you would get, I'm like, I want to be able to like put out this music that I'm making, but I still want to do this video game thing, but I want it to be something that is mine. So that's when I started doing I started making my own beats, but then still talking about video game themes and references and stuff like that. And then that's when the first album I ever created came out. That was The Legend of TJ, Hero of Rhyme. And, I was working with Switch on that. He was on a track on that. One of my favorite tracks of all time was me and my man Switch on that one. And I put this whole album together of just original beats, talking about video games and making video game references and themes. And it was doing pretty well. I was like, man, like this is fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And in that process, I was I had put together a team of people to like help me like curate this music. So like, hey, I would like create the track, I would send it to them, and they would all check it out and like give me advice and give me opinions on it. And one of those people that were in that group was my main man, Thousand Star. And I sent him a song called Joy-Con from that first album. And he was like, man, I like this, man. I want to get on this. I'm a rap. I was like, oh, you rap? He was like, And just out of the blue, he just wrote this rap. He sent it to me, and I was like, it was the first time he had ever done anything like that. He said, "I've never rapped before, but it's just you make it look so fun, and I just want to try it, see what you think. You don't really have to use it. I just want to try it out." And he sent me this verse. I'm like, dude, this is your first time rapping, like ever? He was like, "Yeah, like I've never done this before." It was really good. I'm like, dude, like, I'm gonna put this song on the album. I'm like, this is super dope. Like, we're gonna use this. And then that song actually came out on the album. And then so now I got Switch Bit, now I got Thousand Star, and I'm like, that's when this idea came over me. I was like, what if I put together a group of people who love video games, who want to do music, make it like a record label kind of thing? What if we can take video game music and make it its own genre? Like, what if we can take this whole unique idea of music for gamers and make it its own like thing? And that's when the idea for MasterSwordMusic was born. So then now I got two artists. I got Switchbit, I got Thousand Star, and we doing our thing now. We putting together these videos, we putting together these songs. Switch is doing his thing. I'm jumping on some of his tracks. I'm putting together these albums. Things are like we start working. And then channels start building up. And then I started learning how to get my music posted on Spotify and Apple Music. We started messing around with DistroKid to get our music actually into the hands of people where they could listen to it. And we're just going and going and going. And things really start like something starts happening. And was it the second album? No, it was the third album. So then I did the second album, which featured, Switchbit and Thousand Star. They both on several different tracks on that album. But then we get to the third album, and who was it first? Was it V? Yeah, it was VG. Okay, so all right, scatterbrain. So at another point, my man Switchbit meets a guy named VG Mobster on Twitter he has this idea that he wants to do this song with a bunch of rappers about retro video games. And he brings this idea to me. He's like, "Hey, there's this guy named VG. He's putting this song together with all these different artists on it. I thought it'd be dope if me and you jumped on it and we would put this all together." And it's actually still on his channel to this day as a song called Taking It Back. And we all started working together, and it's like it was like, all right, it's pretty good. It was a dope little track, and it got quite a bit of views actually. That video actually did quite well. And that actually boosted us up as well. Like, that's kind of why we were doing this, like to get us a little more exposure so people could see what we were doing. And it really worked. And later on, when I'm working on my third project, I reached out to VG to like, "Hey man, we've done stuff together before. Cause why don't you jump on a song with me and just be a part of my project?" And that's when we did a song called Arcade, which is another really popular song on my channel. And after that, I was just like, okay, I got to get this dude too. I got to get this dude on my channel. So then VG joins the MasterSwordMusic team. And also with the same album, I'm like, all right, so I got these artists now. We're working together. We're doing all this stuff. But I'm like, man, we really need, we need something different. I started getting into more R&B type stuff, where I'm like singing and like doing love song type joints. And that idea starts really I'm like, ooh, this is kind of cool. This is very unique. So now we got hip hop and we got R&B. So like now we're really switching it up. And I'm like, what would really be cool if I could get a female to to jump in on this as well? You know what I'm saying? You got to get some ladies in here. You can't have a bunch of dudes. You got to get some ladies in here somewhere. So I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I had been following Katy Savage for a while on her Twitch and her YouTube channel and stuff. And somehow we get on the subject of my music and she tells me that she sings. And I'm like, oh, really? Why don't you, as soon as first thing that comes to my mind, hey, why don't you jump on a song with me? Mm-hmm. And me and her put a song together called Press Start, which is on my third project. And that song blew up. That song blew up. Like it was like the numbers that video did, the numbers that it did on Spotify. It was like it took off, and I was like, man, what other choice do I have but to sign her as well? So then Katy Savage becomes part of the team as well. And it really like then we were like, now I got Switchbit, got 1000 Star, we got VG, now we got this lady called Katy Savage. I'm like, all right, we got a team now. We got a team. We are really doing our thing out here. And then that's when I came up with the idea of putting together an album with all of us together working on it. And as we're going, we're doing this thing, and I jump on this. I started getting a little more exposure, started showing up on podcasts. People want to interview me, and I show up on a podcast known as The Gamers Realm, where I meet Geek, actually. It's one of the homies that I met from that podcast, and I meet my homie Katetsu. And at this time, me and Switchbit had just released another big song called Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy.
That was probably
one of the biggest songs I ever dropped.
My incense.
You know what's funny though?
Where's my wine?
Because how there was, not to get too into it, but there was some stuff going on behind the scenes of that podcast, and then which I stepped away from. And I remember when I first got introduced to TJ and Switchbit was just seeing like their music on the podcast. Like he would like play it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty dope. Like what they're doing. And I think one of my favorite ones from Switchbit, it was my NES. When you're talking about all like this NES games, and it kind of related to me too, because I was like, you know, that's kind of how I got into it too, like with video games and stuff. And I never forget where he introduced me to TJ, and I remember you put out, it was right when Sephiroth was coming out for Smash Bros, and you did a Sephiroth remix, and I was like, this Sephiroth remix is freaking dope. Like what? I was like, I don't know why. It's just, I was like, I don't know why. It's just freaking, I've heard remixes of Sephiroth theme before, but for some reason, man, this one is like, it had like a little bit of a trap kind of bounce to it, but it was dope. And I was like, man, so when Sephiroth came out, I was playing that song, I was playing Sephiroth, and I was like, this is just fits. And then slowly just listening to both of you guys, and then I like really started to dive in. And I remember it was 2 songs. It was Jump Like Mario. I remember I was driving to Best Buy, and I was just playing that song every minute. I was like, man, for some reason this song's doing it today. So I was listening to Jump, like, man, like just the way it just sounded, it just went. And I remember you said it was like from your hometown, like the type of style it was, and it just worked because you had like you sampled something from Mario, and it just worked 100%. And I was like, dude, this song is dope. And then Final Fantasy was another one, and I was just like, man, like because if you don't play Final Fantasy, the song is great. But if you play the games and you get the references, an amazing song. So like everything just fits, like everything you hear with the Phoenix Downs and the potions, and you're just like, yo, I don't think everyone else is missing this, but I'm catching everything you guys are putting. I'm like, hey, yeah, this is genius. Like I've never seen anyone really like capture that essence and capture the reference of those. And then Kronos hit me up. He was like, hey man, I know you've been, liking these guys' music, you want to join? And I ain't saying nothing at first, but then I was like, you know what? I get to meet these guys for the first time. Yeah, I'm a jump on. And then I think I caught like the last like 30 minutes of it. And I was like, yeah, man, I like you guys' music. It's really dope. And, I enjoy everything about it. And then I don't know if it was TJ. He joked around. He was like, yo, if you want to jump, can you do something? I was like, I don't do any of that stuff, but I mean, I can try. And I think he was joking around with it. And then like right after the stream ended, Switchbit was like, yo, if you're serious.
Yeah.
He was like, are you serious? I got something. And I was just like, all right, yeah. Well, I was nervous as hell. I was like, dude, I don't do this.
Dude, it's so good too. I lost a lot of my stuff on my old computer, but I still have the emails.
Yeah.
I had it all mixed and everything.
Yeah.
About a year ago. That was like about a year ago.
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah. And he was, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I got to figure out how to make that work because yeah,
it was dope.
Great,
like how
great track.
How we did it was dope. And he was like, all right, here's the song. It's and he was like, we're just gonna be like these two guys, and we're just gonna be playing. I'm gonna go off one, you go off, feed off from me. And I was like, all right. So I listened to it, and I was just like, okay, how can I do this? I play fighting games, so I know the lingo. So I'm just gonna play off his and go through lingo. And it worked out. I was like, this is actually pretty dope. And I sent it back to him, and he was just like, bro, like what? And he was like, all right. And it just became like this. He was like, I gotta keep up with you. I'm like, I'm just trying to keep up with you. I'm not doing anything but trying my best to write and keep up what you're putting out. And yeah, it turned out, yeah, it was good. It was good. And then that led me to like TJ. He was like, yo, I heard what you did with Switchbit. You want to do something? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, fine, I'll do it. And then what we did, Role Player. I think that was the first song.
Role Player. Yes, it was. It was Role Player.
And that it took a minute to write that because I was just doing a lot, but that one was dope. And then right after that, we did Only Blade, and like Switchbit. He was like, I think it was like a little bit later. He was like, hey, did you help TJ do the hook? And I was like, I kind of gave him something, but I mean, I didn't think he was gonna like use it like,
oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah, that was dope. So like to piggyback on that, like I think I was being interviewed on the podcast again, and that's when he had mentioned that him and Switch had done something together. And I was like, well, hold on, how you gonna work with Switch and you ain't gonna work with me?
I had told TJ. I was keeping that on the low.
No clue that these two had done something together. I'm like, hold up. I'm supposed to be the leader here. I'm the CEO. What's going on? Y'all keeping secrets out here.
I was gonna get it, and then I was gonna let you listen to it after it was done, but you know how that happens. So.
Yeah, so I had no clue what was going on. So once I found this out, I was like, well, you're going to do a song with me then. That's how we're going to fix this problem right here. And then that's when I sent them the song for Role Player. And it was basically just me making a bunch of references about RPG games. And I'm just like, I'm just going in. I'm just mentioning like, oh, this RPG game, this RPG game, this RPG. I'm just having fun. And then this dude sends me his verse. And he goes deep. I'm like, whoa. He starts like talking about like how RPGs... like how it affected him in a more personal sense, like diving into the world of an RPG and leaving the real world, and just and he starts throwing out these metaphors. He's like, it's like the red pill or the blue pill. I'm talking about
blue pill was hard.
That's one of my favorite lines, bro.
That red
pill or blue pill. No, I'm talking about the mage, red mage, blue mage. I was like, oh, whoa. Like this dude started really spitting, and I'm like. At this point, I was like, I already had I had VG, I had VG, I had Switch, I had 1000, I had Katy. I'm already trying to manage all these different artists, but I'm like, I gotta add him. like I can't. This is an opportunity. Like he was so smooth with it, his flow was just so different, and I was just like, he brought something different out of me in that song. So I'm like, dude, like, come on and join the team.
Yeah, I want to speak on that a little bit because it seems like everybody kind of has their own style, their own vibe that kind of connects together like, I guess, a puzzle. And that's one thing I'll say about Kotetsu is like you said smooth, and like that's 100%. It's like there's a smooth, almost like quiet confidence to his style that just makes you kind of want to lean into it. But there's something very poetic about it too that sets him apart, I think. You've got your R&B stuff that's kind of like your main avenue. That like I think you shine most in, but with Kotetsu, it's like poetry, man. That's the only way I can describe it.
I used to write poetry.
That's what I was gonna add. Yeah.
I used to write. No, it was really. What's funny? I used to have a journal. I was just jotting it like everything that I go through in my day. When I used to deal with a lot of stuff, that I was like, I can't talk to people about this, but I'll write it. And I don't know, man. Like when. I didn't know that's what I was doing in Role Player. I was just like, I'm just going to write. And I was like, I never done this, but let me just like try stuff. And it was funny because during that time, like I'd be at work and I'd be playing music and I like freestyle in my head. And I don't know why I was just doing it. Like just I'd be freestyling in my head. And then when you were like, hey, let's work on this, I was like, cool, let's do that. And then after that, we did Only Blade, and Only Blade was dope. Was probably one of my favorite ones to do, was Only Blade. And yeah, that's pretty much where it just went from there. And then you know, these past.
Matter of fact, that reminds me. I need to holler at you and switch about Only Blade anyway, because we got to finish that video so we can drop it.
Oh, that's right.
And don't forget about Skill Tree too. Skill Tree stuff.
Oh yeah, Skill Tree.
Yeah,
fire.
Yeah, Skill Tree was dope too. Skill Tree was definitely tested, like, my ability to write and to be able to like keep the theme of it and kind of keep the essence of me, if that makes sense. Because I'm like, to be real, I'm not like, I'm a very like humble dude. I'm a very clean dude, but I'm like, you know what, I can put my toe on the line that crosses it, but then still be cool with it. You know what I mean? And I think I did. I think I think I did it. I had to tap into something that was like, okay, I gotta kind of find something that I can be able to feed off of, and I did, and I was just like, yo, this came out freaking crazy. I was like, all right, yeah.
That song is really dope. And that's the thing with me, is like, I always like to push the guys. I like to push my team. They'll tell you, like, we have our group chat on Twitter, and every day I'm like, all right, I'm sending you this one, I'm sending you that one. I need you to do this. I need you to hop on this song. I need you to work on this. And sometimes I'll literally like I'll give them something that I know is a little out of their comfort zone, just to try to like I said, switch this song called Master Sword that has a like Afro beat kind of feel to it. And it's something different than he normally would rap on. So I kind of like, hey man, just come on, just give it a try, man. Try to push your limits a little bit. I've done the same thing with Thousand Star. I put them on like, hey man, try this Pokemon song I'm working on, man. Like, I want you to do something with that, man.
God, the Pokemon song.
No, I thought
Ash Ketchum.
You guys did Status Effect. Status Effect was dope.
Yeah, me and him kind of came up with a trilogy of Pokemon songs. Like that first one did, the Ash Ketchum song did so good that we ended up just doing like a trilogy of Pokemon songs. So it was Ash Ketchum, then we had the Status Effect, and what was the other one? Oh, I keep forgetting the third one. It was
the one where you played it was the Ash Ketchum, Status Effect.
Ash Ketchum, Status Effect.
Super effective.
Super effective.
Super effective. Okay.
Yes. And that just kind of became a thing that he like Thousand Star is the one who he's the themer of the group. He's the one, he like takes a theme and like he writes his whole verse around that theme. Like for the Ash Ketchum song, his whole song, that whole verse was based around water Pokemon. So every Pokemon he mentioned was all water types. And he put it all together to connect it to like a waterfall. So like that was the ending of the line. And like that's what he does. He like theme stuff. And that's when I started like kind of doing that. So like songs like Final Fantasy, where I'm theming everything on like a Final Fantasy kind of thing. I'm tapping into my Thousand Star right there. And then with Switch Bit, he's the one that kind of pushes me with my delivery and my flow. Because Switch has a delivery that's just like ridiculous. He can chop it up, he can speed it up, he can slow it down. He'll change delivery on you mid-verse. He'll come on an off beat and then catch up and get back on the beat.
Yeah, like I'll say he did that with Super Nintendo. He did that. How he started it, it was like it felt like it was like he was doing open mic night poetry, and then you hear that first part of it, and then he does Ella, you gave, and he just catches back on the beat. And I was just like, okay, I was trying to catch you when you first started, and now you jump back on the beat, and it's crazy. But no, I can agree with that 100%.
You never want to have a trash verse if he did a verse before you. It's gonna look.
That's
like
why I'm so glad. That's why I'm glad he went last on all of our songs. That's why I'm glad he went last.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's why I'm glad.
You gotta step
all the songs that we've done, all three of us done. I'm like, oh, he's last. All right, cool. Like when he did like the skill tree one, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad he went last, because I think mine would have been.
Where were you on that day?
I'm glad he went last.
You gotta put that dude last. I gotta put that dude last, man, because he's definitely the lyricist of the group. He's like that lyrical. I'm gonna boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's
knock
crazy.
you out the whole time. And then with like VG, he has that old school like 90s. He's like that Wu-Tang, like that's what he does. So he kind of helps me tap into that part of me. And then of course Katy, that's the R&B part. Like that's me and her get together. It's gonna be some lovey-dovey. It's gonna be some R&B stuff. We're gonna get soulful on you. And then Katetsu, he brings out that smooth, clean, crisp flow that's just like it's so smooth, it's so clean. It's just like you gotta. So like I picked each one of you guys for a specific reason because you bring something to the table because you guys push me to be better, and like that's kind of why I put the people around me that I've put around me, and man, like now that we've all come together, we've all been working together, like we've really done some incredible things together, and I'm trying to tell. And now that we've talked about all of that, I can talk about what is to come. And when I tell you MSM Volume 2, Arcade 2.0 is going to be one of the baddest albums we have ever put out. Like we have been working at a crazy pace.
Like
we put together some songs.
Like 5 songs in a Saturday.
Like,
I need a vacation.
Yeah, like my man Katetsu has been putting in work. He's on like 3, 4. Like on the first MSM album, he was only featured on the one song because he literally joined the team. We were almost finished with the album when Katetsu finally joined the team. So like he only got a chance to hop on the one song. But with this new album, my man Katetsu is on like 3, 4 tracks over. Yeah, like 4 or 5. Yeah, you're like on 3 or 4.
And we have
at least 4.
And there's like another one. Was it the one that you sent me the other day? I think that one's going on there, right? The one we worked on.
No.
That's not okay.
That was coming to me.
I was like, because I know
that was going on my next album.
Because I know like I said, like we talked about it before. Like there was that one Saturday, it was like right around when you first started. I think that's like one of the most productive and motivative weekends I've kind of just in creating stuff because it was just one song. You're like, hey, you should get on that. And we did it. And it was cool. There was another song. And I think 1,000 Star. I was like, yeah, that should be Kotetsu's. And then he was like, you want to do it? And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do another one. And then third song come on. I'm like, man, we did like 3 songs in one day. Like, okay, I'm going to just chill. And then you went live the next day. And you played another one. I'm just like, God, I was like, why? Why do I come to these live shows? I'm like, please. I'm like, dude, just send me the song. Let me write it real quick so I can be done. So
yeah, that's literally when like that first weekend. Weekend is when I actually first started streaming on Twitch. Like that's when I was like, because somebody had gave me the idea. They were like, "Hey, how come you don't live stream?" Because I was live streaming like video games, just me playing games and stuff. But then somebody tossed the idea. I was like, "Why don't you like stream yourself, like your studio sessions? Like, why don't you just stream yourself actually making music?" Like people can chime in and listen and watch and get in on it. And I was like, that's a really cool idea. So then we started doing these Saturday studio sessions where every Saturday I would just get my mic out, and I would just start making music live on stream. And then the crew started showing up. 1,000 Star would show up, Switch would show up, Katetsu would show up. And next thing you know, we're like all collaborating on music in real time. And then we started putting together these songs and these themes, and everything started coming together. And I'm just like, yo, what is happening right now? And I'm telling you, like the songs that we have put together for this next MSM album, when I tell you they are like next level for us. Like I think this album is going to be something special because like we really putting in some serious work on this album. And like I'm so happy to like be working with these guys and to have the team that I have around me at this point because like we are really starting to take off. Like the Twitch streams are doing extremely well. Like literally just this morning I got the email saying you have been approved for an affiliate. And like so now the MSM streams are now we're now affiliated, and the videos are taking off. The Spotify is doing like we just hit 5,000 streams on Spotify.
Oh, that's right.
Like yeah, we just hit 5K on Spotify. Apple Music is starting to pick up now. We just hit 2K on Apple Music. Like the music is starting to pick up. The videos are taking off, and like we're starting to get into a rhythm now. And it's like I cannot wait to show y'all what we've been working on. I can't wait to put out this Arcade 2.0 album because it's gonna be incredible. And I'm just so happy to have the team that I have. And you guys are really have been pushing me to go to the next level. And that is literally what we're doing. And so we've been working so hard that the MSM album is just about done. Like we only maybe a couple tracks away from finishing that. And even right after that, my next album is going to be ready. I'm already working on songs for my next album, which is going to be coming right up after that one. So 2023 is already pretty much locked down as far as the music. Like we got music to rock out for the whole year.
Yeah, that's crazy. And
then we got some other side projects that I haven't even. Can I talk about it? Can I talk about it?
If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
I'm gonna talk about it. This is the one. This is the one that I've been really excited for. This is one that I'm really excited for that I'm in the process of working on. But for the longest, every time that me and my man Switchbit get together on a song, it's always been incredible. Like you got songs like Final Fantasy, you got songs like Handheld, you got 8 Ways, you got Master Sword, you got Super Nintendo. Like every time me and Switch get together, me and him have worked together the longest out of anybody because he's literally the first MSM. He's the first artist of MSM. He's the original OG of MasterSwordMusic. So me and him already have this chemistry and workflow with each other that's just on a different level. And me and him get together, it's just like boom, 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 boom. So coming soon. Sometime in 2023. I don't know when yet, because we got too much music coming. But me and Switchbit are going to be doing an album together. Me and Switchbit are going to be doing a whole duet album. It's the one that I've been waiting for because I know that when me and him link up, it's going to be crazy. So I'm already putting down stuff for that. Man, so now we got the MSM album, we got that, you got my next album that I'm already preparing. You got the Twitch streams going, you got the Spotify going, you got the YouTube going. Like we are just firing on all cylinders right now. And I'm just so happy to see my dream really come true of putting together pretty much a record label. MasterSwordMusic is pretty much just a record label of artists who do video game themed music. And we're turning it into a thing now. And that's the dream, is to make that a genre of music where people are like, I'm a gamer and this is gamer music right here. This is what we do. And we've been really blessed to work with all kinds of other people. Even outside of the team, we've had little guitarists, we've had saxophone players come through, we've had other rappers. On my next album, I'm actually featuring with an artist who doesn't even do gaming music. He's another artist, a guy known as Action Jack. He's just a rapper that is doing incredible things on Spotify. He's heard my music and now he wants to work with me, and me and him have a song coming out on that album. And people are reaching out for collaborations, and I got people that want to do video edits, and I got an animator who wants to do an anime. I haven't even told you guys this yet because this just happened today. But I have an animator who reached out to me who wants to make an animated video of one of my upcoming songs. Okay. So we are things are really starting to take off for us. We're really doing amazing things. Me and my main man Geek, he's working on his game. And this is another. I didn't get a chance to tell you this, but my man Geek is working on his Chrono Crush game, and one of my dreams has always been to score music for a game. And my man Geek has given me the honor of being able to score some music for his game, Chrono Crush. So I'm working on music for that. We've already started. Me and him, that night, we was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting there in the background, just, hey man, listen to this track. What do you think about this track? You think you can use this in the game? So MasterSwordMusic is all over the place right now, man. We are hitting the ground running. We are working hard,
bro. I just got one question.
What's your question, bro?
Met the criteria. I wasn't chosen. Can I get on a
Oh man.
Negro, can I get on a track, my G? You made me bring up I don't rap, but after I seen Kotetsu on, honestly, I'm not, I'm not saying Kotetsu was clean.
No,
I'm not, there's no shade at all. But after, because Kotetsu was very nervous, he was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Because he was like, man, but when I heard Kotetsu, I was like, what? I already heard Switch. I already heard TJ. I already heard Thousand Star. I heard my homie V the collaboration on too with a while back. And I'm just sitting here. That's what me and Thousand Star was in the chat talking about. I'm like, I don't know if y'all follow sports, but Isaiah Thomas said when he got snubbed from the Dream Team.
Oh, I was done.
The golden ticket.
I knew you were
like, I met the criteria. And I got it like, look, I got the poster right here. I'm like, well, I met the criteria. I got a song. I think I don't know. I didn't send it to you. In 2018, like that's when my channel hadn't grown. It's just starting to grow because Geek stands for Geek, Gaming, Entertainment, Anime, and Comedy. Can't do it all in modern YouTube. But I'm an Aries and I'm stubborn. You can't tell me what to do. So for 6 years, I stayed stagnant. But in 2018, I did a song. I think I mentioned it to you, TJ. I'm in love with the Luca. It was basically.
Oh yeah, the Chrono Trigger joint.
Basically,
you actually did send that to me, and we were.
Let me just lay just a little bit for y'all. Just since we own the music, me and Cliff, we just been sitting here chilling. We cool.
This is your interview. This is your interview.
I was like, God damn, mama. I just rewrote the
Love with a Stripper.
What was it? Yeah, I'm in love with a stripper.
The T-Pain.
T-Pain. I couldn't think of this dude's name. I was like, God damn, little mama. I said, damn, I know you smart as hell. You know what I'm saying? I said, matter of fact, after this battle, you know what I'm talking about? In my party, we gonna get together, you know what I'm saying? Got nothing to worry about, you know. I'm just looking at you. Yeah, you know. And then it goes, the mind of Nostradamus. Got the sight scope to keep them honest. I see you, girl. You know, she made the Geiki Gato and Robo. Yeah.
I remember this.
She
You
know
sent
what
me this
she
video.
Doing. Yeah. She always invests that right thing. Yeah. I need to get her over to my ship and do that time thing. Cause I'm in love with the Luca. She shooting, she swinging, she thinking, throwing the flames. I'm in love with the Luca. What did I put right? She geeky, she nerdy, she's up. But anyway, that's just a little sample of it because I had the whole thing. But I did that in 2018. Like I don't rap. I never, I'm a stocky dude. I like basketball. I was better at football. I didn't rap. But I see y'all out here having fun. So I'm just like, you know what?
Hey, I'm always down to collaborate, dude. I'm always collaborating with people.
Have me included on one thing on this album number 3-4. I mean, I'm down. You know what to do.
Hey man, we always reaching out and collabing with people, man. Like
you have just done. Once you say,
I know what I've done. I knew exactly what I mentioned it to TJ before. You don't realize how much of TJ's a busy dude. And I would like to say I'm a semi-busy dude, so I'm always into doing something as well. And literally, and this is no shade, I went to the Chrono show for Kotetsu, the homie Black, and for TJ. I wasn't gonna go one time, and then Kotetsu's like, "Oh, you're the homie." I said, "Oh,
yeah, that's right."
I heard one of your tracks, bro. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember. It's like I want to work with this dude. Like my dream is very akin to yours. There, it's video games for me. I want to. This whole YouTube journey and everything in streaming is to get noticed enough. So people will know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, hey, he knows about RPGs. So when he makes one, I'm gonna check it out. It has no random treasure chests in the game in 2023, whenever the game will come out, because that's a dumb idea anyway. But, we're 2022 and it's a random treasure chest just in the desert. Nobody's taking it, but that's a whole different subject. But my goal and my dream has been since around, I'm gonna say 2000, since I was 18. It's to make a video game. I used to write it on. I still got some of the original stuff on typewriter, like different ideas and stuff. And that's why, similar to what you're doing on Saturdays, is what I start doing on Wednesdays. Is even if it's a slow grind or process, like we literally repixeled Luca to look like she looks in the
Chrono
end
Cross.
of freaking before on Chrono Trigger, and going into Chrono Cross with just the shirt. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do all of it, but that's crazy. But I want to make my stories, these JRPGs, Dream, Final Fantasy in space.
Yeah, I remember
with a
that.
black protagonist. Because they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. They ain't got no black people in 16. Ain't no black people in 16. We ain't talking about that. You know what? And I didn't like the excuse they gave neither. You don't want to put me in your game to just say, but you want my money, don't you? I mean, some will buy it, but still, you ain't got to at least be like J.J.R. Martin. He said it. I don't, but no black people. I didn't want to put black people in my story. Okay, the black people you did, Miss Sunday, fine. It was slaves. But if you don't want to put us in, okay, cool. Now, but that's my dream is to do that too. So my problem is, I'm a solo dude. I try to. I have to start. That's why how I end up meeting Kotetsu is through the Chrono Show, through the homie Black. I don't know how many of y'all remember the black ass Pokemon trainer.
The
black ass gamer before, but the artist formerly known as
we still call him that.
Start getting into that monetization. He said, "Let me change my name."
Pokemon trainer. Black Pokemon trainer.
But that was one of the reasons I started trying to break my norm is because I be in the like most of everything. If y'all follow or see anything I do, 99.9% of it is Quentin. I'm doing it myself. So and this was a validation. Listen to y'all. You always do better work collectively with other people, because if somebody else has a mistake or they have something they learned, you can teach the other person while I'm sitting here in the ditches learning by myself. That's why it's I would like to be part of a group that's doing something, even if it's just put a couple lines or something in there to be in that circle, on that dream team. I want to be Isaiah. You mean Leitner was on the dream team, but Isaiah Thomas was actually the best number 2 handles.
Well, you already know, Geek, that you are MSN family. Like the family goes beyond just the artist. Like the MSM family has become like a thing now. Like you are definitely MSM. You are definitely part of the family.
And all these tracks, I'm just like, Kotetsu, like, man, bro, I was out here. I remember like, I'm out here, I'm making business moves. I'm signing artists. I'm just like, well,
what am I doing?
You say you're not a rapper. And straight up, the first lines that I ever wrote in a little skit thing and performed in front of the camera was, "I am not a rapper. I am just a man with a Nintendo Zapper, old TV, and my hat turned backwards," because I didn't think of myself as a rapper. And then, so once you get your voice on the mic, it might change.
I can attest to that.
With Thousand Star, with my man Thousand Star, like I said, he had never done anything like that before. He had never done any music. He never rapped before. He just was like, man, what you're doing is cool. I want to try it. Just give me a chance. And I'm willing to give anybody. That's the thing about me. That's the thing that you'll learn about me is I'll give anybody a chance. I will give anybody a try. I will help push you in the right direction. I will give you advice. I will do whatever I can to support anybody, especially to my MSM family. And I do consider you part of that family. Like Switch will tell you, Kotetsu will tell you, I will, if you want to learn, if you want to be pushed, I will push you. Sometimes I push these guys a little too hard.
Like
chill out.
Just do it.
Yeah,
just do it, man.
I
asked for a list one time, and I was like, "Bro, there's so much that I need to do, but can you give me a list so that I can like itemize it?" And he sent me like a Dropbox list, and I was like, "Oh man!"
Don't tell me that, because I will put you to work. I will put you to work.
Open the door that you cannot close now.
I could definitely say that. Like, I'm the same boat as Thousand Star. I didn't do this stuff. I just expressed interest, and we joked around, and then Switchbit was like, "Yo, if you really want to, like, let us do something." And I said, "All right, yeah," and then we did that that fighting game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, in a Saturday. We knocked that out in a Saturday. And it was cool, and I was like, man, this was actually a cool experience, and I never really done anything like that. And then of course it led to with TJ, and TJ's like, okay, cool, well, that's why I felt like, oh, so he worked with you, I want to work with you too. That's what that kind of felt like. And yeah, man, like
that's literally what it was.
I've never used the pen like that, and What? We're working on something the other day, and I just like put something on the Twitch chat, and you're like, "Okay, you feeling it already?" I'm like, "Yeah, unfortunately, yes."
Yeah, you should have told me that. I'm
Yeah,
like, all right, well, this is you then.
yes.
Like I'm telling you, if you wanna be put to work, join the MSM family. I will find something for you to do. Like even outside, like Slunko, who was in the chat earlier. I was like, hey, I jump in one of my music videos. You don't sing, you don't rap, you could jump in them. She's in the Super Nintendo video with me and Switchbit.
Yeah, that's
I was
dope.
jumping the video. J Love, who I ended up actually wrote her ending theme for her videos. For all of her videos, she plays this song at the end of all her videos, which is a song that I wrote for her. She jumped in one of matter of fact, that was me and Switch again, actually. That was handheld.
Handheld, yeah.
By the way, ladies, I have a dream too. I want to do my voice like you did the Beyonce song. Let me know. Let me know.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Like having a video where we have other people play us in the video, like the Jay-Z Beyonce thing where Beyonce is doing Jay-Z's verse. That's something me and Thousand Star have talked about, like trying to get somebody to do that with us. So we're doing some fun stuff, man. So like there's room for everybody to take part. Whatever talent or skill you have, we can find some kind of way to put it to work, man.
Yeah,
I mentioned this to you, like I think it was over a year ago now. I'm pretty solid with editing. I definitely would help do a video or something like that too. I mean, I am a little busy, but I do have days and time I could. I'm like a Switch. If you can like give me something to tell me, I'm one of those. You tell me what to do or how to do or what the deadline, especially the deadline. Tell me what the deadline is that I can personify, that I can make it work.
I will put you to work, man. Like I said, the MSM family goes way beyond just the artist. Like it goes. We work with, like I said, we work with other creators to just do features and the videos. Like I got a couple of Twitch streamers that I've been working with.
Tiger Chainsaw.
Shout out, Tiger Chainsaw. Yeah. He's featured me and Switch on his he does like a video game talk show game podcast kind of thing. We work with, like I said, other YouTube creators who've been featured in my videos. We got a couple more of those coming up. Some Twitch stream. Matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to my homie Nickelodeon on Twitch. She's an amazing Twitch streamer who did a video with me, and that is actually blowing up on YouTube right now. It's gotten the most likes of any video I've ever gotten.
Nice.
Shout out to Josh of the Game Cave, who's like a major fan of our music. He plays all of our music live on his stream. Okay. Like anytime we have a premiere, he will stop in the middle of his stream, go to our premiere, and play it live during his streams. He's actually going to be featured in a video that's coming up. Like I said, that's what this is all about. We are trying to build it's kind of like what we were doing originally with Press Start. Actually, me and Switch were doing with Press Start. We are building a community of creators, like rappers, singers, video editors, music. Like I said, we've worked with musicians like James Leiter, the guitarist. He's been featured on a few songs. Justin Smith Williams, who's a saxophone player. I've got him to jump on a couple songs, play the sax on them. We want to build a community around what we're doing to help us build this thing, because we need more than just artists. We need more than people that just rap. We need more than people just sing. We need video editors. We need people who are good with promotion. We need people who can help us push this thing that we're trying to create to another level. Like I said, with your gaming thing, that could be something like that'd be cool. Maybe one day, maybe you'll blow up. We could get an MSM video game. What's up?
Well, see, the thing is too, because I
Switch video game. Let's go.
Off top, first time I said, "Hey, I like what you're doing. I love for you to do some music on my game." I think it was one of the first messages I tweeted you. Matter of fact, you was like, "I don't be on Discord too much." I was like, "I don't know how it's gonna happen or when it'll happen, but I love for you to work on some music or something for a project or a game when I do release that." My main thing is really, honestly, it's time. I do Twitch, YouTube. I run this store. You gotta work, you gotta live, and then y'all know. It ain't like I'm speaking another language. No, but anyway,
it's a lot, man. Like I said, that's been my job. That's been my thing. Is just like trying to bring everybody together and direct them. That's even the reason why we need more people. That's why we need to extend this family to even beyond just the artists that I work with, because we need people that, like I said, I'm working with this animator now. That's going to help us be able to take our videos to another level. really trying to just build this thing out. Like I said, man, one day we might have a hunting them games video game. You know what I'm saying? Like
Actually, hold on. I talked about to somebody who makes video games to do that, and I had like a whole plan and everything, art assets, but
hunting them games video games, man.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's so
we
funny.
We can have an
because
MSM shooter.
It's so funny because like, me and Geek have always talked about like having a group of people and we can just be like, this is like the home base, like kind of like how what is it? Yeah, how like that where it's like we have a home base and like everyone's like doing their own thing, but then it's like when the bat signal goes up, we're like, okay, cool. The bat signal's up. We all like with TJ. TJ is like, yo, man, I'm putting the bat signal out, and we're all in the chat like, all right, what's up? What you need? What you need? What do you need? And he's like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And I think that's this might be forming right now. Like, to be honest with you,
That's literally what the whole idea of MasterSwordMusic is. It's a collective. Like I said, the original idea was the press start thing where we were bringing together people from all across the community. Like most of the people that we were working with weren't even like doing music. They were just doing their own videos and we would have features. Like I would have, like we would do like one of my guys, my man, Dr. Virtual in the UK. I just did a collaboration. He did a review of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I just jumped in his video and did a remix of an Ocarina of Time song to be in his video, like just to help him out, just to like, hey, he's actually he actually did a song on my latest album. He's like, hey, I'm interested in doing this. Let me try. So I gave him a chance to do something. So that we have a song on my album with him on it. And like, I just want to build this community of people together that we can all, like you said, when that bat signal goes up, all right, guys, this is what we doing. We working on this. Matter of fact, like I'm saying, we working on this new MSM album. We're gonna need some video. We're gonna need some art assets. We're gonna need
I got that
graphic design.
I got stock footage.
This is what I'm saying. We might need some people to help us put some stuff together, man. Like I want to be able to throw that back so and we can put together a project that's on a level that's something different, because every time we put out something, it gets better and better and better. We're improving. I'm learning mixing and mastering. I got people that are good at video editing, and I got people that are good at graphic design type stuff. I'll send out ideas. I'll be like, hey, Switch, what do you think of this album cover? Hey, Thousand Star, what do you think of this song? Hey, Katetsu, I'm working on this joint. I need you to get on this joint with me. I need to be able to have people I can reach out to help me with certain things, because I can't do it all.
I know.
Yeah,
I tell this because Kotetsu all the time. I was like, bro, I was doing a podcast. It's hard. I make 5 to 7 videos a week. Then I stream 3 times a week, and trying to balance those things in life. And then other things. You just it's a schedule, to do it. And my problem is, I know it. I'm stubborn and I like to do everything myself. It's just, why? And the main reason why, and it's to piggyback what you were saying, is a lot of times is because a lot of people don't have the same energy. And if you don't have the same energy or the same drive, you can't match with those people. Like for instance, you talking all, and then I'm like, what if I was like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, anyway, what did y'all play? But then you gotta have some. I'm willing to work. I want to do this. I want to collaborate. You have that was the first thing. That was the first conversation me and Kotetsu had. He was like, I want to work with you.
I've been trying to work.
Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But
ever since we had him on that first episode of Gamers Realm, I was like, who is this dude? Because I don't care what it is. Even if we go on Discord and talk for like 20 minutes, I just want him to know that I'm someone who is willing to work with somebody else, because it's like you said, we had the same energy, and not even like to knock, but when we got on Gamers Realm, it was just that back and forth all the time. So and we both knew that, and we were just like, yo, we need to do something. And we have, and it's cool. Which led me to, not to get all sappy or nothing like that, but I feel like because I met Geek, it's challenged me, because he's like, yo, you gotta, try this, do this, look at this, look how this works, try to, look at this avenue of stuff. Why don't you try doing this? Hey, why don't you? I think most of my channel has been based around his suggestions and just being able to, and I like where it's going. And then being open to try stuff. And I think when Switchbit first said, hey, you want to work on this song, I was very nervous, but then I was like, you know what? If I don't try it, how do I know how it's gonna turn out? And it turned out, from what me and him listened to, and I still have it on my Google Drive. I still have that the finished, like not finished, but like I think All We Need Is Your part on there. I still have that, and I'm just like, dude, this was freaking dope. And
I might need to hit you up with.
And there was a time I was just. There was a time I was like, man, I want to ask him about it, but I know he's doing stuff, but I still have mine, and like I know like if it goes out, it's gonna be dope. And then being able,
we could always snatch that for the MSM album. I will snatch that and put that on the MSM album so quick.
I might send it over to you what I have and what he has or something like that, and let you go in and mix it.
Yeah, because
I will snatch that so quick, bro.
I think what I have, I think it's you, me, and then I think because we did it where it was like, I think the first part of it was, I think it was like we did round one where it was just like, okay, you started off, and then I come out and do mine, and then we were like, and it was funny because when we were recording that, I was just feeding off the energy, and then I remember you're like, hey, okay, at the end of this, I'm gonna win this one. And I'm like, all right. He's like, at the end of this verse, I'm gonna win this match. I'm like, all right, cool. So I had to write it that I lost, but kind of do it in like a way that was cool. But and I was.
But the plan was to do another one where you win later. Yeah,
was it? But but just to kind of like go back to just being a part of this is like really cool, and then. Being able to have you guys, I've always wanted everyone to be on here, and the fact that we couldn't get everybody, but it was cool because we got we do have MSN here, and Geek was able to be here, and I'm so glad Geek was here. And then Cliff was like, yo, let me be a part of this, and Cliff, I think he's still listening. But
sorry, we took over a little. MSM be taking over when we show up. We show up and take over.
Listening. But
as I always say, I'm never fully gone.
You know what's cool though, because like it really started with Cliff. Like, to be real with you, it started with Cloud. Not to go too much into it, but like Cliff hit me up like, what was it 2020, like beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
He was like, hey man, I'm doing this podcast. Like, we always have great conversations. Let's do it. And I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do a podcast. First episode was like 4 hours long. And we're like, yeah, we can't do that no more. We can't do that. This is going on, but it's just cool. But he was like, we can't do that. So then we kind of started to work on it. And then, things fell through, and, that's not anybody's fault. But I was like, man, I had to itch. And then I joined Gamers Realm, which allowed me to meet Geek, which we've worked on stuff and we've talked about stuff and we've planned stuff out, which made me want to work harder. And then working with you guys makes me want to work harder too. And, Geek kind of made a point one time. He was like, bro, why don't you can do it. Why don't you do it yourself? And I was like, damn, like, why haven't I do it myself?
Look at you. You know how to, you got it.
I was like, I was like, why haven't I done this? Because I thought that if I can work with people, I'll be better. But then I'm like, how do I know how good I am really if I don't try to branch out on my own? That makes sense. So, but being here, it's cool. I'm so happy to have everybody here, and we were able to talk for like 2 hours. So, things just went off. And like I said, I knew it was gonna be good. So before we even started, hit that live button, I knew it was gonna be good. But yeah, we're gonna close it off, man. I just want to say thank you. I want to say congratulations to TJ, man, for hitting that affiliate. It was so perfect when I said, hey, we're gonna talk about this, and then you said you hit affiliate. I'm like, this just worked out.
Literally happened this morning, bro. Like, literally this morning, I was streaming, and it was just like a couple people that came in. I dropped me a couple follows, and today was literally the 7th day of my 7th. You have to hit that 7 streams a month thing. And today was day 7. So like, as soon as I got to work, I was checking my email, and it was like, you got affiliate.
Yeah,
like,
seeing that
oh
is just such a great
snap.
thing. Seeing that's
I was
just
like, that's crazy. Like we've
yeah.
been, and I really owe a lot of that to you guys. You guys have really, like I said, you guys have came out and supported those streams. We've been working like literally live, so like people have seen like the team together, like all of us working like live doing the streams, and like people have been coming over and like trolls. Like we've been getting really good numbers. Like we've only been streaming for 3 weeks. Like we've been doing we started about 3 weeks ago with the Twitch streams, and like people have just been coming out. They love that interaction that we all have with each other. Like they'll see Thousand coming there talking his trash, and then they see he'll come in there with the hype with his squads and everywhere all over the place. Switch will sneak in real quick out of nowhere and drop a verse. Hey man, here's a verse, man. All right, I gotta go. I'm busy, man. Here's a verse.
Usually at work.
I am a saint. I'm never a villain. I am a saint. Don't believe the slander.
Then Katetsu would be in there like, hey man, what you working on, man? Oh, that's nice. Hold on,
send me that.
All right, I'll be right back, man. Let me get over here. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of my stream and he sends me a message. Hey man, I sent you a verse, man.
He'd be getting mad. He'd be like, really? Like you did that on my song?
Like really? You gonna disrespect? You gonna get on my song and disrespect me by spitting that fire like that?
There was one time you were streaming and I'm just like, that's what I was like, how long are you streaming for? You're like, man, like another hour. I was like, I got an hour to write this because I want him to hear it real quick. I knocked it out in an hour. Like I was like, I really want him to hear this. And it was when like was one of the songs where like I didn't think I can do it, but apparently I did, which I sang on something. And I was really nervous on that one. And I sent it to you and you were like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, cool. We're done. And then I was like, dude, that's the fact that you liked it. I'm like, cool. If you like it, I know it's going to be dope. Like, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about, it going live and other people. Cause it's like if the boss likes it, then it's like, oh, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's like, if he like it, then, oh, it's cool. We don't have to worry about nothing else. But no, it's so
weird to be the impromptu leader. Like I never really thought about it. I was just like, I just want to work with a bunch of people. And then somehow I ended up becoming the leader of this thing. And it's just like, everybody's like looking at me like, all right, TJ, what we doing?
I even said it in a verse for the RPG verse. I said TJ is the leader. TJ is, what did I say? I said TJ is some of the leader of this group.
TJ's the gamer and the leader of the squad.
Yeah, I said that, and it was just a verse. I wasn't trying to. I was like, I need to put something together real quick just to end it, but it was cool. But anyway, man, I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate everyone who came through, man, to watch. This was cool. This was probably like another great podcast. Doing these and just seeing like the interaction in the chat and with you guys just makes it seem like, all right. When I see that, I'm like, cool, episode 6. You know what I mean? Like the energy of episode 6 is gonna be even better than this one.
And feel free to, hey man, if like I said, my situation has changed a little bit, so I'm a little more open in my evenings and stuff like this. So like, feel free to always invite us back, man. I would love to hop on some more of these. If the team is free, maybe one day we can actually get the whole team together on one podcast. But
yeah, I have some.
This is fun, man.
Yeah, I have something.
This was definitely fun.
I'm always feel like I'm always cooking up something, especially now. Like when I was like, before I was trying to do it every single Friday, but I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself trying to do this every single Friday. I'm like, every other Friday has actually worked better because there's more time for, if I want to talk about something, I have more time for more stuff to roll in, like topics and stuff. And then I always I can do this myself. I've proven I can consider it myself, but I feel like it's a special thing when I have people here because I not only get their input, but it's just like their perspective on stuff. And even today with the Game Awards, talk about, man, we got a lot of perspectives and everyone geeked out and it was just dope. But before we end off, man, I want to give everybody a chance to plug, because I have everyone's information in the description. So whoever they see something like, oh, who's this? You guys are down there. Everything like Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, everything is down there. So you guys are good. But I'm gonna give anyone any opportunity to plug anything in, anything. TJ, he talked about everything. If there's something else he cooking up, I'll be surprised. I feel like he damn near talked about everything. But is there anything?
I'm excited, man. Yeah. I'm excited, man. We we've really created something. Like we've really built something great, and I'm just excited about what's to come, man. Like I said, 2023 is going to be a crazy year for Master Sword Music, man. Like I said, if you're looking for us, Master Sword Music, you can find me on YouTube under Master Sword Music. All of my socials is Master Sword Music. If you want to hear the music, you can find me on Spotify under the name TJ the Gamer, or any music streaming platform you want to find us on. You can check out my main Switch has his channel up where he puts some dope music out. He's also on Spotify.
Mario Kart. Can I just say that
Mario Kart
was
song?
Dope. That Mario Kart was dope. And it's cool because it's like
thank you. By the way, thank you. I need to get a video for it.
But what you did was so perfect because it lined when the Mario movie trailer and they had the Mario Kart, you're like, and you said, I just wanted to try this. And it just like fit, and I'm just like, yeah, you. And then I checked that video. That video was blowing up too. I was like, yeah, he plugged that in perfect when he had his song coming out, and then like the Mario Kart portion of the trailer. I was like, yeah, that's definitely good. But yeah, if you guys want to go check out Switchbit, man, go check out his Spotify. I know I'm not gonna plug for you. You can go ahead and plug yourself, man.
He's like,
so I'm pretty much all my socials. I try to do a little bit on everything, and YouTube, I'm the Switchbit. On Spotify, it's just Switchbit. So that's kind of the big thing if you're looking for me. I'm coming out right now. I have about 3 or 4 songs left in my stable that I'm releasing, not in album form, but in single form. So I got one more song coming out at the end of the year, and then we got a couple more. I was gonna try to salvage that fighting game song to me and him, but I think I'm gonna give that to TJ. Let him.
If you want me to give it to him, I'll give it to him. You know what?
Send it over.
Before we end it,
I'm gonna give him what I got. Too.
Yeah, before we I'll end the stream, and before we all like head out, I'm gonna see if I can like play it and you can hear it because I still got it. It's in my Google Drive, like 100%. It's in my Google Drive. But yeah, anybody else, man? You got anything? Geek, Cliff, Thousand Star,
I would say appreciate the invite again, bro. I'm glad. I love to see ideas come to fruition. It's nothing quite like it. I'm glad to be a part of it. I've been here with all y'all before, but I'm glad to do it again. Appreciate y'all. You can find me under at the Geek Show Instagram. I meme every day. That's my thing there. Meme every day. YouTube. I 5 videos a week now. I cut back at the Geek Show. TikTok. We using them shorts. Them shorts is keeping Quentin afloat. The shorts is keeping me afloat. But you can find me on TikTok at the Geek Show, GEAK. Entertainment. And Twitch. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tonight, but maybe if I do, it's only 8:30. I might play something. I don't know what I would play, but yeah, appreciate being here. That's where you can find me.
Cool. Anybody?
Just wanted to say,
go ahead.
Thanks for having me on. It's great to chat and talk about gaming, and it was nice meeting all of you guys, Switch and TJ, and along with Thousand Star, which I've met for the first time in call, so that's cool. And then Geek, you already know him, my homie. It's great to always see you. As far as where you can find me, I'm always on Twitter at justclip_. I love giving my opinions on games.
Yes.
I love promoting games as well. And I'll let you know when I finally start making content in 2023.
There you go.
We'll let you guys know when the One Up crew comes back because we've been trying to reboot that sucker for a long time.
It's like the biggest joke.
We made a channel, we gave permission to everybody, and then just nothing. Like if anything, it falls on my channel, but it's cool though.
Yeah, you gotta bring out the theme song, man. You need a theme song for that.
That's why you made me an artist, right? You made me an artist for that stuff. So you know what?
Yeah, man. Theme song. So now you can make your own theme song and everything. I got the beats.
Man, Thousand Star, you got anything you wanna say? Any last remarks? Anything? Any last remarks? Anything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I jumped on the hidden boss character of the group. You'll probably see me best in all their streams, saying random stuff, bringing the hype. A very hidden dude most of the time. 1000 keeps 1000 part 2 coming soon, and that's mostly it for me.
Yeah, if you guys want to check that out, man.
You gonna say that so clean and then leave like that?
If
I was like,
you-
that,
if
yeah, it's
you-
a new series on the MSM
yeah,
channel.
yeah, you guys go check that out. He's giving people he's giving
We
people the
dropping
cheat
knowledge
code.
now.
That's what it is. He's giving people the Konami
Cheat
code.
code.
He's giving
Yeah.
people the Konami code. That's what it is. It's not the cheat code.
New series on the
It's the
MSM
Konami
channel.
code.
Oh, I forgot. One more thing I want. I'm sorry.
I told you.
One more thing I,
I
want
told
to
you.
plug.
I told you.
I forgot. I forgot. Okay.
Go ahead. It's yours.
But I also want to plug. It's a new series that's going to be dropping on the MasterSwordMusic channel pretty soon. It's we're getting into sketch comedy now. So we're doing like a sketch. It's like a musical comedy sketch kind of thing, but it's actually like a representation of the story of everything that I talked about today, of how I started doing my music and how everything came to be to where it is now. That series I've been working on, and that's going to be coming out real soon. It's called The Legend of TJ, and it's going to be really dope. It's like a musical comedy sketch thing. It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait. We're going to have a lot of people featured on it. We already got some content creators that are jumping in on that. Eventually, I'm going to have all of you guys on it because you guys are part of my story. So that's going to be really cool to see. Matter of fact, I'm going to need some other characters, so I might have to grab Geek because I know you do some sketch stuff too. So I do need characters for my show. So I might have to holler at you for that one.
It's my news, and I want it now. That's like the best, funniest. Oh my gosh!
Let me say this now. I'm really about to redo the world's geekiest man. I got like 10 of these. I haven't done.
That's funny too.
Because have y'all seen recently? Like they brought up this is the Desaki's dude. Like he's been trending lately on Twitter. I mean on TikTok and Instagram. Like people are just doing like random shit and then putting his stuff behind it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I did one like original. So like I've done a couple original ones. Like he wouldn't be a piece of shit.
But yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. So
man.
Always something. My bad. All right, I'm bad. You can end. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to find this shot. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna try to find it real quick before you guys go. But anyway,
tattoo that reads.
But I think my favorite is the Geek Donalds, man. That kills me every time.
Oh, the not don't fap.
Every time I roll,
That's
every
good.
time I see it, it's too funny. But anyway, you guys, that is going to be it. Again, thank you guys so much, man. This came out together perfectly, yeah, it's just amazing. But that's it for me, you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Like I said, follow everybody here. They all have something that's gonna be just amazing. And then, like I said, we all come together and it's gonna be even worse. So anyway, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys take care.